Was the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a nerd was peaceful, especially Ryan's PC mouse. The stockings were all hung by the chimney with care, with hopes of Ben's PlayStation 5 soon would be there. Brandon was all snuggled up in his bed, while visions of Dragon Balls danced in his head. But what to my wondering eyes would appear but Sparks Witty and a whole bunch of kitties. He sprang to his finals and whistled with delight. My papers are done! Now let's have a great night. Holiday Annual 2020, my bros. We are here.
That was great, Ben.
That's so representative of me in this moment.
That was very good, Ben.
Thank you.
Cheer.
I literally thought of the idea right before we started. I was like, this is actually pretty damn good. I was like, hurry.
Yes, as Ben said, this is our 2020 Holiday Annual. We do this every year. If you guys are listening to this for the first time, watching this for the first time, we do this every year. It's a little gift to ourselves and our listeners and audiences. We get dressed up in our ugly Christmas sweaters, and we exchange gifts, and we do all sorts of fun stuff.
Yeah, and our holiday annuals have only been video recorded last year. Prior to that, they were just audio. But all of them are fun to go back and revisit, specifically the one on YouTube that's up right now, our video from last year. You want to just like some holiday magic from 2019? We were actually in person. It's great.
It was
this
great.
year. The sad thing about this year is that we could not be in person. We did try to make that happen for this special alone, but it didn't.
Yeah, it got real bad.
Yep. We are at 0% capacity on our ICU beds. Fun fact.
Yep.
Ooh, Merry Christmas to us.
So we are here doing this virtually, and let's get started. Welcome everyone.
Yay!
Friends,
Christmas
family.
time.
I'm gonna get got again. I'm not looking forward to that.
You're not gonna get caught, don't worry.
Wow.
Every holiday annual, Ben always gets got.
Yeah. Okay. So if this is your first time watching the holiday annual,
or listening, this is also going up on iTunes.
Yeah. Or I was gonna say, or listening. So one of the very first times we did this, I made the dumb mistake of Snapchatting a Powerline T-shirt from Target, and I not only sent it to these guys, I also sent it to other friends. I sent it to everyone as like, hey, if you don't know what to give me for Christmas, here's an idea. And it backfired because apparently both Brandon and Sparks saw this and like, oh, we know what we're doing. They got Ryan in on it. And that year I got 3 Powerline T-shirts for Christmas.
Ben, I'll be real with you. There's often moments where we'll be on the show and you'll say something, and Sparks and I give each other what I call the look. The look that is just, we've given each other that look. We know what it means. We're doing that for Christmas.
That's so true.
Yeah, so the next year was because I wanted Hulk Gray, which I did eventually get, but then of course Brandon got me the picture of Dorian Gray, Ryan got me 50 Shades of Gray, then Sparks actually got me Hulk Gray, and then last year, I still have it, they're right here actually, are my little horror, what are these, rock candy? No, 5-star Funko figures of Annabelle the Nun and Jack Torrance.
Now, you are got every year, but we have gotten other people. We got Ryan the year after with My Little Pony.
We did.
Characters.
I'm the My Little Pony expert on this podcast.
We got you with all the pops that you already own.
Last year, yeah. Which I was completely oblivious to.
Yeah, all but one. And then you tried to like fake another, and then you were like, no, but I really don't have this one. And then you did have that one too.
Yeah. In fairness, I was pretty high.
Yeah. Ben's pretty well aware of the scheme of things at this point. He kind of saw the horror Funko icons coming, and especially because we were doing this virtually, I've been pretty upfront with Ben that like, yo man, look, there's another present hidden in your house.
I was watching a movie last night up here in my gaming loft, and so you, Sparks, and my girlfriend Fanny were like, okay, we gotta figure out where to hide this. So of course Fanny's like comes up, and he's like, hey honey, can you like turn around? And because the way my loft is, I can see the stairs and I can see my door. My bedroom door. So it's like, hey, turn around and don't turn around. So I honor system. I turned around, I plugged in my ears. I was like, just sitting there waiting. And I was like, can I turn around now? I need to finish this movie.
And now we're here.
Spot on.
So speaking of gifts.
Yeah, what we do is that we do like someone, we go one individually and they hand the gifts to each person in the group, and that's not how everybody. We did our gift exchanges, so Brandon has everything. I delivered off everyone's gifts to Brandon, and Ben has everything in his house.
You're a personal Santa.
Yeah, I had to be for this year. That worked out. Brandon did the good favor of meeting me halfway today.
Nice.
Actually, I just want to let you guys know something. Unfortunately, you three specifically, don't have everything yet. Unfortunately, fortunately, you three have more gifts coming. Problem is, mail sucks right now because everyone's backed up. So when they do get, you might have more stuff coming. But I felt bad that you guys weren't able to open anything on today. So I was like, I got you a little something.
Oh, don't, Ben. This was a wild year. I'm happy to get literally anything.
Yeah,
trust me.
For Ryan and Sparks, you guys, that's like, I know it's like a joint thing is a bit of a cop out, but I feel like both of you will highly enjoy it. And since you guys live together, and I know Megan's there, you guys are gonna love it.
In fact, since he's bringing it up, let's open Ben's presents right now.
Ooh la la.
Ryan and I will get started. I'm sure there's going to be some crinkly wrapping paper.
I love the crinkles. Chris Crinkle.
Crinkle.
Look at that.
Also,
Together forever.
Oh, gosh.
Trying to underbarrel it. Look at that. Oh. Hey. We were just talking about this.
This is great.
Thanks, Ben.
Oh.
Still in this game.
We were actually talking about this on the podcast for a bit. I'm very excited to play that. I love bad boys. I love being a bad boy.
I'm actually super happy.
Yep. So that is for the both of you. Because when I bought your original presents first, and I was like, all right, cool. And then I saw when they weren't going to get here. I'm like, shit.
I got Brandon's gift like 2 days ago, so it almost was the same situation. So don't worry, bud.
I knew, I kind of saw everything going, and I was just like, if I don't buy these gifts now, I will never be able to do this, because obviously unemployment extension isn't a thing right now. So I was just like, so I got them done as early as I could. So I guess my turn. Ben gave me this little tiny.
Yeah, I apologize. It's not my fault. You still got another one coming, bud.
I mean, I don't care, man. I was just happy that I didn't get more than 3, because I was like, if I got more than 3, that means they got me with something.
Got
All right, let's see.
I really hope you like it.
It's kind of sad doing this alone, I'll be honest, but whatever.
Yeah,
We're here virtually.
We're here virtually.
Doing what we can.
Oh, what is? Oh, okay. Ooh, this is a cute little fidget spinner.
It lights up too.
Ooh, I love lighting up things.
Oh my god.
Can't
you.
really see it, so open it up.
It's the
I got him a new fidget spinner.
fidget spinner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's one that it's see-through, and if you spin it, it lights up.
I love it.
Y'all don't always see this, but ever since I started doing the podcast high virtually, because I'm high a lot nowadays, but whatever. I need a fidget spinner. But I need a little fidget spinner to help me keep focus while we do the podcast.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, this is really. Oh wow! Look at this. Oh, okay.
That's awesome.
Oh, look at that! Look at that! Look at that!
There's the line. See, that's better. Look at that.
Look at that!
Take that to a rave.
That's a Christmas.
Boom! 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 Boom!
It's like you have like an EDM version of "Have a Holly Jolly Christmas."
Yeah, thank you, dude.
Well, thank you, Ben.
You're welcome. And once the your guys' other
Oh,
presidents,
there's other settings.
It's a Christmas miracle.
It's a Christmas miracle. Oh my god! But yeah,
Oh, there's more. Just read. Oh my goodness.
Look at that. Look at that. The best Christmas.
Oh, I'm so glad you guys enjoy that.
Oh, there's so many different settings.
Endless
Getting Christmas and birthday presents for you guys is just so freaking hard. But I was when I saw the light up one, I was like, I'm pretty sure Brandon will enjoy this.
Thank you.
I mean, my thought process was, if he doesn't like the fact that it lights up, he can always just turn it off and just have another fidget spinner that's going through.
No,
But
I
if you like stuff that lights up, it makes me happy.
My current fidget spinner is actually a piece of crap, so it's great.
Before we go on, I did want to mention in talking about like when we first got Ben and everything, if I could pick a single moment from pre-video days of Fake Nerd Podcast to have captured on film, it would be the moment that Ben was opening those Powerline shirts up. Because it was so good, and I hate that we only have the audio.
Yeah.
I wish I'd been recording it on my phone. We got him so good.
You did. You got me really well, you got me. You got me hardcore, and you've been getting me ever since. So even last year when I opened, I think it was Jack Torrance was the first one I opened up. I was like, you bastards.
Yeah.
All right.
What's in these three?
Speaking of getting, why don't we? Who wants to go next so that Ben can open one?
Ryan,
Me?
would you like to?
Sure.
All right. Ryan's gifts. Why don't you go ahead and find Ryan's gift there? I believe it's the red wrapping paper.
It is the red wrapping paper. I've had the same wrapping paper for probably 10 years.
No, you have, because every Christmas present you ever gave me was in this paper.
Hell yeah, baby.
Do you know what I like about it is that it matches your Twin Peaks Christmas sweater.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's oh wait, no, that's Twin Pines. Wrong movie. Damn.
There you go.
I do love. Okay, so it's hard to see, but I do love how he wrote my name all over this damn package. Like this one.
Just in case.
I
need to make sure you know it was yours.
Yeah, you did. All right. Oh, it's a Funko. Wait, what? You mother!
What?
You son of a!
What? I don't know. What?
Are we allowed to swear on the holiday special?
Don't say the F-bomb, but yes.
Poop nuggets. What?
Rat bastards! You got me Stephen King with the red balloon.
Of course. He's your icon. He's your favorite.
We need you to have your guy.
Everyone knows you love.
Rat bastard.
Listen, if there was a Joe Hill pop, I would have bought that too. I'm saying.
Oh.
Add it to your collection.
Oh my god! I don't know, where am I going to put you? My bookshelf's downstairs.
Your gifts are going to be themed to your favorite icons. Okay.
I freaking knew it.
Sparks, do you want to go next?
Oh sure, from Ryan. Yes.
Okay. All right. You know what? In all seriousness, this is actually a really cool pop, especially with the book and he's holding the red balloon like an it. I will admit this is really cool. I'm not getting rid of it.
I'm glad.
Yeah, man. You love that guy.
It's your best friend.
Ryan,
That's from me.
I'm gonna open the thing.
I found this comic book and just read the back of it because I think you will love it. I read the back and I immediately.
Cosmo Knights.
It's called Cosmonites.
Oh.
For this ragtag band of space gays, liberation means beating the patriarchy at its own game. Well, I am sold. This art is cool.
Yeah, I found this book and I've never heard of it, and it's made by one person, Hannah Templar. I'm like, I think he would like this book. So
you're probably right. Expect future book club.
There you go.
All right.
Okay, mine, Ryan. Big letters, Brandon. Oh, you wrote my initials on the back.
I wrote BTM on the back.
All right.
Oh, that's right. You haven't watched any TV before.
Probably my favorite gift, if I'm being honest, that I got all of you guys.
This is a really good one.
And you're going to have to show the audience, of course, but I want you to read it first.
How'd you learn how to wrap a shirt?
I surprisingly, I don't know.
What is it? Don't keep me in suspense.
It's good.
Holy shit.
Listen, the mummy, more like the daddy.
Oh boy.
Where did you find that?
It was like a one day. I found it on Twitter, and somebody was like, "Hey, this is like the one day it's on sale if you want to get it." And I'm like, "Absolutely."
Oh, so it's like it's like a T-Fury was. It's like the one shirt per day. Okay.
Yeah.
I love this.
I'm glad.
He showed it to me, and I was like, "Oh, absolutely! That is so good."
I almost got one for myself, and I'm like, I'm gonna get one for you. It's such a good shirt.
This is amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, that's like that reminds me of how like I almost bought that Godzilla Says Say No to Drugs shirt, but I was like, so much more Ryan than me.
Exactly. That's exactly
It's got Brendan Fraser doing a smolder.
It's so good. I love that shirt. I think it's incredible.
This is great. Thank you.
Of course.
Brandon, do you want to go next?
Sure, Ben, open your gift.
All right.
Ben, that is the black Santa wrapping paper.
Yeah, because I saw it because this one's from Sparks and this one's from Brandon. Wait,
Yep.
Sparks, did you open yours from Ryan yet, or?
Yeah, I did. It was the
comic book.
Oh, the comic book. Wow, man, I have a short.
I'm not going to tell you what it is.
Oh, I know you're not going to tell me what it is because I have a feeling, mother. You son of a bitch! Oh, it's the Barnes & Noble exclusive one this time.
It's exclusive, Ben. It's important.
You rap.
What is it?
Okay. I get it. So this one, all right. So this one, it's another Stephen King pop, the Barnes & Noble exclusive, but he's bleeding, but he's got the pig's blood on him, like in Carrie, right?
Yep.
You son of a bitch.
Man, look at that.
Got three.
The number one Stephen King fan deserves the 1 and 2 Stephen King pops.
Okay, so Carrie, Dark Tower.
Oh.
I think you're assuming that's another pop.
It's your favorite icon, so it's not saying it's a Stephen King pop.
If it's Pennywise, I swear to God.
Ryan, this is from Brandon.
Oh, gifts! I like this tangled. Oh, you wrap really nicely, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
I almost feel
I do what Liam Neeson does in Taken in the beginning of Taken when he's wrapping the gift.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna have to Google that because I am the worst rapper in the world.
Me too, bud.
Hey, it's my guy. It's my boy. It's Mr. Victor Von Doom. Oop, let me get this tape off. Ooh, Victor. Infamous Iron Man.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
Thank you, Brandon. I love it. Dr. Doom's great. He's a great comic. Read it right now.
He's a glow in the dark one.
Oh my God, it's gonna match my Swamp Thing Moss one. Beautiful. Thank you, Brandon.
You're welcome.
Ooh, baby.
Yeah, that's an awesome
I
one.
love me Dr.
he
Doom.
definitely had to-
I saw that popped up in the previous catalog. I was like, oh my God.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And then he was like immediately checking in with me. He's like, "You're not getting this, are you?" And I'm like, I won't. I'll back off."
I love it.
I did get you a backup gift, but that's going to be for your birthday now.
Oh, good. Cool.
This is from Brandon, so I will
Rip
crack
her open.
into this baby.
Oh yeah, we love boxes in this house.
Did you?
Aw, Brandon,
Box
you
baby.
made a full set.
I did.
They're not gonna get it. Hold on. Okay, so this is a really cool. It's hard to see.
It is with the green screen,
This is Cell doing the Kamehameha blast at the end of the Cell saga.
Oh, is it a conjoined?
On my birthday, Brandon gave me the Gohan one of this, so now I have both.
And,
and I can have them facing off with each other, which is awesome.
Do the final command. Oh, that's awesome.
You also, if you get the Goku figure, you can take the Goku figure and put him behind Gohan doing the thing.
If I had known that, I would have gotten him too.
I found that out. It's on the back of the Gohan one that I found that out. But yeah, this is really, really cool. These are nice little. They're this big, but they're very detailed and they look really awesome. And that's one of my favorite moments in all of the series.
Absolutely.
So this is very sweet. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Man, playing off the birthday gift too. What a card.
I bought them the same time. I was like, birthday, Christmas.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's take care of Ben then. Ben, why don't you open your gift from me?
You're never gonna guess what it is.
It's a surprise. We tricked you. That's how we got you. It's not 3 Stephen King pops.
Oh look, it's Stephen. It's just normal Stephen King this time.
Look, buddy, there are 4 Stephen King pops. You know how hard it was to track them all down.
Yep, it's regular Stephen King now.
Look at that! Look at that handsome man.
Classic.
Classic Stephen King. So
Here's the thing. I bought all 3 of them for all of us months ago. I've had them since July.
Oh, you were planning this.
Yes.
Oh, good God. Good Lord.
I was like, they were coming out with Stephen King pops. Are there 3? Yes. Okay. That's what we're doing.
Are these the only 3 that came out, or are there more?
There's a 4th one, but
there is one more that is his character from the most recent It film.
Oh, yeah, that's
okay.
the pawn shop guy.
Yeah,
the pawn shop dude.
yes.
Wow.
So you're welcome. Now go find your real gifts.
I love it because Ben will have people over and they'll see 3 Stephen King Funkos and they'll be like, "Wow, you must really like Stephen King," and he'll be like,
We don't have time to talk about the story.
Yeah.
No, because not only will they see, oh man, that's god awful. I'm sorry, Stephen. But not only will they see my that's better, thank God. They'll see his 3 Stephen King pops, and then they'll look at my bookshelf, and there's no Stephen King books on that bookshelf.
Okay, Ben, do you want your real gifts?
Yes.
Okay. Can you go to the garage and inside the white cabinet where the dryer fabric sheets are, you'll find your real gifts.
Oh my God, that's where you hit it?
That's where Fanny hit it.
Oh, all right.
All right, you go take care of that. We'll chit chat.
Now we just have to wait for him to get back.
All right, hi audience.
What's up, audience?
How's it going?
Hey guys.
So,
Hear you.
Oh shit.
I'm glad he said that. Emma immediately climbed into the box that your figure came in.
Look at that girl.
Just instantaneous.
That's so cute.
That's
I like your fireplace background.
Thank you. Yeah.
It goes really well with the snow background that we have on the stream.
Yeah, if the green screen had a little more room, we could have done like a half world.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the Stephen King Funkos.
Yeah,
that looks really nice. That's a nice little. We did it. Well done.
We did it.
Represents Ben perfectly.
I just when those were announced, I was like, I gotta. I think I bought the Barnes and Noble one. He was with me when I did it, but he didn't see me do it.
Yeah. I love that the cell figure, the Kamehameha Blast, comes with like a variant where you can put it on so that it's like it's a version where it's smashing into the other one.
All right.
Oh, that's so cool.
All right, Ben, go ahead and open your real gifts. That's from all of us right there in the package. From the boys.
From the boys.
Not Homelander though.
Ah, here we go.
You got to knife it.
A box in a box.
Scissors. Or the tape, really.
What do you think it is, Ben? Do you have any idea?
I don't know.
Good.
I have no idea.
It's Stephen King.
It just is Stephen King.
He opened up and he's like, "Hello,
I would
Ben."
be surprised if you were able to fit a 70-some-year-old man in his box and he just probably goes, "Hello." Oh my God.
It's a portal.
If there were any man you could do it with, it'd be him.
Yeah, true.
Oh wow, there's a lot of stuff in. Oh shit! What the hell? Holy!
What is it?
What the fuck?
This is me
What?
hoping that's going well.
You got me the. Oh my God! You got me all 3 of them.
All 3 of what?
The Tiger Oh yeah, because I'm nostalgia's bitch. I know. Oh my gosh.
It's actually more specific than that, Ben. You specifically mentioned on the show when you were talking about Tiger Electronic Games how you hate Tiger Electronic Games.
Oh. Wow.
Which ones did you get?
I got the X-Men one, Project X. So you got Wolverine, Cyclops kicking ass and taking names right there. Of course, my personal favorite, or one of my personal favorite video game character or fictional character of all time, Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
Not 1 and 2. Forget those guys.
Yeah, not one. I mean, it's funny because they never made a Sonic the Hedgehog 2 one. They made a Sonic 3 and then a Sonic 3D Blast. I had the 3D Blast one as a kid. And Transformers Generation 2, which is when, wow, these are holy crap baskets.
Remember how I told you about the look that Sparks and I give each other?
Yeah.
When you said how much you hate Tiger Electronic Games, we looked at each other and we go,
Well, that's it.
that's what we're doing.
All right, Ben. Well, Merry Christmas. Brandon, why don't you go ahead and open your gift?
It was a big one.
It's a big one.
We actually went in size order for the gifts that I got. Oh, dang. I hope I didn't break it.
In size order?
Like small.
In size?
Oh, got you.
I don't know where the hell I'm gonna put these things.
You got me an Amazon box? You shouldn't have.
It's the theme this year.
Okay, I can do this without tape. I'm a man.
Now you're a man.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness. Oh my.
Nope, you gotta open it.
You gotta.
That's how you do it. You can't.
Why are you a nice human being?
Because he's the best in the West.
So he gave me a box, and there's a bunch of stuff in this box. A Geigen pin.
Yeah, I love him. He's got a cool belly.
From Mondo. Oh, I didn't see this. Oh, a Mechagodzilla pin
Oh, that's cool.
from
That's
Mondo. It's hiding from me.
Mondo's awesome.
Mondo is awesome.
The complete Kingdom Hearts.
So look, here was my logic. This is all of it, including 3. And here was my logic. You have spent this year deep diving into things just 100%. And I'm like, what better time than for you to become a Kingdom Hearts fan now?
You love Disney.
Just dive in deep.
Funny enough, years ago when I was with Brandon, because he still had his PS3 and Kingdom Hearts 1.5 collection was on sale, I bought it for him. It's like, are you gonna play this? And he's like, yeah, he hasn't touched the damn thing.
No, I know. And I thought about this and I looked at it and I went, he's deep diving on everything else. Now's the time. So he has everything all the way up to 3.
All the way.
I'll let you know when I beat Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
Oh, and Brandon, play the Kingdom Hearts games in release order. Don't play them chronologically, release order. It'll make much more sense.
He's right. Also, especially in video games, Brandon, you have just like plugged yourself in and welcomed yourself back into the world of video gaming and deep dived on a bunch of things. So I was like, maybe this is the moment. And if not, there you go.
It's
You
not
could
exactly.
You could honestly just play 1, 2, and 3, and I'd be happy. Like even if you didn't play anything else.
I've always been interested in the franchise. It just seemed a little too difficult.
It's
Yep. No, yep.
It's difficult narratively, not difficult to play.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
It's not Dark Souls where it's not like Dark Souls. You're fine.
Well, Dark Souls doesn't really have a story. You kind of figure out the story.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts has a story. It's just super convoluted.
this is not the only thing in the box. There's more. My goodness. The Avengers PlayStation 4 video game.
Nice.
Thank you, sir. Again, I'll let you know when I finish Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Yeah, no hurry. I think just from what I've played of the Avengers story, I think you're going to like it. And then we can also all beat up things as heroes.
I like beating up things.
And then he gave me a book called The Mammoth Book of Kaiju.
Ooh.
It's just a big series of short stories about kaiju monsters.
That's
This
dope.
is cool. Thank you.
Yeah, I know you're not a huge reader, but my logic was that
Kaiju.
it's just little short stories, so like you can just do bite-sized things whenever you want to go through the book.
Yeah, thank you.
You're very welcome.
I like to read. I'm just not a good reader, I should say.
But the thing I mean is like there's no pressure for you to like have to keep up with a big long book.
Yeah.
You can go through just like 50 pages and that's a whole story.
I love the look of the book. Like it's all like
Yeah,
old school.
the
27 nails.
yeah, it's
I love
really
it.
cool. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Merry Christmas.
Oh, that's a big box.
Here's Ryan.
Oh, Jesus. So heavy. I'm scared. Oh, yeah. Get out of here. Uh-oh. Tape time. Huh.
Yeah, I had to tape your guys' box down a bit. Otherwise, they're gonna just pop up.
No, because there's just so much stuff in it. I'm scared. I don't even want to look.
Oh, you want to look?
Oh. Ah! Okay, so this is a Ramby book called The Savage Shores. Ramby's like the dopest dude in the world, and I haven't read this book, so absolutely thank you. This was going to be bought eventually, so I appreciate you getting that. That's amazing. Oh my god, there's so much stuff in here. Oh my god. Okay. So there's the Dune graphic novel. Oh my goodness. Ooh, ooh.
Oh, is that
Look,
really?
This
That's
is like a big ass graphic novel book. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my god, this is amazing. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey guys, I know nothing compared to it except Lord of the Rings, Arthur C. Clarke said. Arthur C. Clarke said about Dune. That's amazing. Oh my gosh. Ah! Ah! Oh, hey guys, you know the X-Men? Have you ever heard of the X-Men? Those are characters I like, and he just got me this big ass art book. Oh my god.
Wow.
Of the animated show.
I mean, these X-Men right here?
Yes, those X-Men. Oh,
That's
this
cool.
is amazing. This book is so big. Whoa! Sparks, you're the best. Sparks is the best. This is amazing. Oh yeah. How does Wolverine work? That's how he works. This is amazing. Oh my god. Thank you so much, Sparks.
I definitely
Oh man.
had a really easy time with Ryan's where I just went, oh, that thing?
Yeah.
Yes, and this thing as well. Perfect. This thing too.
If you guys don't know anything about me, I don't buy a lot of things. I buy comic books and then I buy the devil's lettuce. That's basically about it. So I appreciate you because these are all things that I would probably never buy for myself except Savage Shores. So I love you and I thank you for this. I cannot wait to read all of this. This is great.
Awesome.
Well,
Thank you, Sparks.
Yeah, of course, man.
I love it.
Well,
Can you
guys,
put that over there?
that
Thank
pretty
you.
much does Christmas.
Yep, that's a great
A lot
Christmas.
of great gift exchanges. That was awesome. Ben, do you want your real gifts?
Freaking do it, you asshole! Yes, please.
Okay. They're in the ottoman in your bedroom.
All right, I'll be back. Also, there's my water bottle. I was looking for that.
That's fantastic.
all good gifts. I think we did well this year.
Yes.
No,
I'm hella stoked about that Dune graphic novel.
So, fun fact about the Dune graphic novel: they accidentally sent me 2, so now I have one also.
Hell yeah!
And I'm not telling them.
Good.
That's the new one that Frank Herbert's doing.
Yeah, it's the brand new one that came out this year.
Wow.
Brand spanking new. So
Yeah.
man, I'm reading the prequel book right now, and then I got the real book right here. That's amazing.
Jesus,
Hell yeah.
guys. How much money did you spend on me? I feel bad.
Look, like I told you, I've had those pops longer than July actually. Because I had those pops before the coronavirus.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna open Ryan's first, if that's okay.
Yeah, I didn't have a lot of money, but this was very personal.
Okay, to be real, I appreciate all of this. I freaking love you guys. I thank you so much.
I forgot what I got you.
Uh-oh. So this one's from Ryan.
So I saw this online, and it was like tailor made for you. And it's something made directly from somebody. So like I purchased it from them, not from like
that's awesome.
I think you'll like the stuff. They're little cuties.
Enjoy. Love, Ryan. Ah! Oh, they're pins.
There's a little pin and a little sticker.
A little pin. Oh, that is so cute.
So there's an artist and writer named Sina Grace who wrote the Iceman comic. He's currently writing Getting It Together. He's big in indie comics, but he's also an artist, and he makes Final Fantasy VII pins.
Yeah, it's Cloud, Tifa, and Aerith sharing a milkshake together. We got this adorable little puppy dog.
That's like his logo, is like a little dog reading comics. And then he gave a free little sticker, little cute Sephiroth. Look at that wink.
Aww. Yeah. Look at him winking. That is adorable. Now, one of the things I cannot wait to get is like a leather jacket, or not a leather jacket, like a denim jacket, so I can put because I have a decent collection of pins, so I can put in pins, and this one is definitely going on there.
Yeah, I saw that and I was immediately like, oh, that's definitely for Ben.
That is adorable. Thank you so much, man. Oh, that is so going on my jacket once I eventually get it. All right, this one is from Brandon.
B-Dog.
From B-Dog.
Oh, I remember what I got you.
It's a broken Funko.
You know what? I would do that. That's fair.
Yeah, he would. Trying to make sure all the wrapping paper. Ooh, Transformers!
Surprise! This is Stephen King.
It's Dead Optimus Prime.
Yes. Okay. So let me tell you real quickly. So you guys remember the Kenner toys, the 3 3/4 Kenner toys? They used to make Transformers ones of those, and they've been making them again. So Target had a limited run of Dead Optimus Prime.
Oh my God, what does he look like, Ben?
He's great.
Wow. That's incredible.
I am never opening this.
I saw that and I said, "Holy shit!" The fact that there is a Dead Optimus Prime variant
is so cool. No, This is so. When I was a kid and I saw this movie for the first time because we rented it from it wasn't Blockbuster, it was Video Box. It was a mom and pop store, and we watched it. My brother and I were crying.
I just thought it was so ridiculous that there's like we made a dead Optimus Prime toy.
No, man, that isn't for kids who like Transformers. That is exclusively for adults who cried when they were young.
This is for adults who love this. This might be a bad analogy, and I apologize, but this is some real Ready Player One shit right here, where it's like, I know that thing. I know that reference.
Yeah.
Oh, this is so cool.
Good reference, though.
Oh, my God. Yeah, he's never coming out of this cardboard. He's staying on card for the rest of his life. I am never opening you up. That is.
I mean, it goes against my policy of never buying Transformers toys that don't transform, but I had to.
Yeah. No. You know what? That, I will say, that is the exception. And it's got the old Kenner logo. It doesn't have the Kenner logo, but it's got the old. Oh man, that is so rad.
Glad you like it.
I love it. Thank you so much. Oh God, Sparks, there's 2 boxes. Sparks, why are you such an adorable human being? There's 2 boxes from you.
Sparks, legitimately, when I got into the car after I picked up all the gifts, I was like, oh thank God, Sparks only got me one thing.
Psych!
Surprise!
Why do you always assume that?
Oh my gosh.
Shoebox. You got your shoes.
You go there. Oh wow, it's in a box.
That's
you gotta work for your gifts.
Yeah. I know I probably said the story every single time we do a holiday about my parents used to wrap my presents in duct tape. So at least this time it's a little easier to get through. But holy. I know this makes for some great audio. I'm sorry, audience.
No, that's fine.
If you're watching a video, you got a sick rave going on.
And now I'm pretty sure I just gave Sparks, Brandon, and Ryan an idea for next year. It's like, yeah, let's wrap all Ben's presents in duct tape.
Ben, I'm just saying you said it.
Yeah.
You pointed it out. No, just...
Of course, I went a step further. They wouldn't allow my brother and I to use scissors. They're like, nope, you gotta use your hands. It's a Christmas present. Doesn't use your hands.
It's a little cruel.
It's a little cruel, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that was.
Also be doing it like through the whole special.
Yeah.
God,
6 hour special.
You didn't.
You got him a
I've seen these online. I've been. Oh yeah. It's a World Series champions mug of the Dodgers, but the best part is it's made out of a real baseball bat.
That's hella cool.
Oh, look, I've been wanting one of these. Oh my! Okay, ever since the Dodgers won the World Series, my freaking Facebook timeline has been filled with ads of this, and I saw how much they were. I'm like, that's a little pricey. Maybe someday, especially
honestly, with mine too. I bought one for my brother.
Oh, you got one for your mother?
Probably everybody's has been filled with those things.
Oh man, this is so cool. Thank you so much. Thank you.
So you're welcome. You're welcome. Insider baseball on that one. Ben and I, Ben, when he came to give me gifts, I gave him a mug that he was supposed to have for his birthday that came late and super ugly, like super, super ugly. And it was a World Series celebrating mug that was supposed to have the signatures of the team on it.
Oh, wow.
And all the signatures look like chicken scratch. So I felt bad about that. And that made me extra commit hard to making sure that this mug came out
amazing
for Christmas. So,
because I even sent a message to my friends that I go to spring training with every year, the Cactus Club. And I was like, I know these are pricey, but how cool would it be if all of us got mugs of the teams we love? And of course, and since the Dodgers won the World Series this year, now I have my own that I'm totally going to bring and just be like, just sipping.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
I'm probably going to drink out of this today. I am going to be using this today. Thank you so much.
Go downstairs. Get your real gifts now. No, I'm kidding.
Thank you, mother.
It's a new car.
It's a PS5.
It's a Nissan Pulsar.
Oh, this thing's got some heft to it. All right. So this is the last thing from Sparks. You glorious Beautiful human being, you.
Oh, snap.
Oh, stop.
All three of you are beautiful human beings. Like Brandon got me this thing of a series I do love, of a movie I really love. Ryan got me that awesome pin that's gonna go on. And Sparks apparently is like, I'm just gonna go hog freaking wild. And you also got me Avengers. Nice.
I did. Here's the thing. Like, I didn't mind getting you more on top of Avengers. In my mind, Avengers is like a gift for us all to play together, get to do that. So I was like,
the comic book story of video games.
Yeah, I really was shocked that you didn't have it. I checked with him 3 times to be sure.
I didn't even know this existed.
Neither did I.
Oh, guys, this art looks great. It's like old school. Oh man.
Is it about comic book video games, or
it's about the history of video games done as a comic book?
Oh shit, that's amazing. Oh,
cool.
Shigeru Miyamoto. Oh my god.
that's radical. Okay.
Oh, Future Book Club.
I'll gladly.
Yeah, I came upon it, and again, like, that was another, like, well, obviously.
Yeah.
And then it was so obvious, I had to, like, really affirm with Fanny, like, you just moved, you're sure. You're sure you did not see this book.
Oh, and of course the Avengers. Yeah. This is going to be downloading tonight. Ooh.
Kate Bishop's in that game now. She's real good.
I just wanted you guys to have nice things. This year was shitty.
Yeah. You're the best.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay, now go down to the pantry.
No.
I'm just kidding.
There we go.
All right. Lovey-dovey, gift exchange. You're all great. I love everything that was shared here. This is incredible.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I got a sleeping cat in a box. Like, I don't like, what else do I need? Look at that cutie.
Okay.
Podcast
Look,
time.
look, I'm really high.
Okay.
I'm actually not that high. Where the hell did my phone go?
Brandon.
I can't find my phone.
You look for it, and I'll lead us into the next thing.
Oh, I found it.
Okay, great. You're so high. Okay, so the next thing
really
that we do in our holiday special is we talk about the Christmas gifts that we would ask for today if we were little children.
Mhm.
What is the things that are coming out right now that would spark our childhood passion to ask for of our parents? Anyone want to go first?
I'll go first, because even as an adult, I want this. And for a split second, I was like, are they? No, they're probably not, because even I would say that was a little too much. The Nintendo Entertainment System Lego set. Or even the current Super Mario Lego sets that are coming out right now. I know I am quote unquote nostalgia's bitch, and
Look, I'll remove that title from you. Those Mario Party Lego sets are really cool.
they are.
I have almost bought them a number of times. The only thing that has stopped me is they're always out of Mario, who you have to buy separately.
Yeah, you have to buy a certain set to get Mario in, and that set alone is like $60.
Yeah,
Evil. That's evil.
but a lot
Mario.
of the, like, expansions, like, you can play, and they're like, remember, don't forget to get Mario.
Yeah, but if I had more space, and if I were a lot younger, I would definitely ask my parents for Super Mario Legos and the NES Super Mario set, because I mean, those toys, we all love Legos. Just building is fun. And the cool thing about the NES one is that it moves. Like, there's a little crank on the bottom, so you can actually you build the game cartridge, you build the console, you build the controller, and you build the TV. And you can put the cartridge in the controller. It actually moves down like a real NES, the original NES model. And if you had the original little Mario, the Lego Mario, you could put that on top of the TV, and as the crank is moving, it'll play the dun 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 dun. It'll play the song.
Really cool.
Yeah,
It's very intricate. It's really cool. So if I were a kid, I'd just be like, Super Mario Legos, these are the sets I need, and I'll be a happy young little boy. Just
I do not mean to take away from that, but anytime anyone talks about like a new technology mimicking old technology and like it pulls the cartridge down just like the old thing would, and it's like, wow. like just the sense of it being such old technology, it's like, look, it's mimicking the thing the old thing did.
Remember pushing down on a cartridge?
Yeah, right.
Ben, transition your power to me because I also have a Nintendo product.
Transition.
Nintendo power.
Actually, no, put your hands back up. I got a better one. Blum blum blum.
That's what I was thinking.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I picked Mario Kart Live, which is the Mario Kart game where if you're rich enough, you can have your own house be Mario Kart set. None of us have enough space or the money because that thing's like $100. But it's basically Mario Kart with an actual little RC car, and you can have multiple. If you have enough rich friends, you can get all of them to get involved. You can have 8 cars racing at once in your house or your big driveway or anywhere else you have a lot of money in. It's a really, really great device that just a lot of people are never going to experience. And I'm just like, hey, if you can get that thing, that looks so much fun. You create your own racetracks. You have gates you set up. I've seen people like use the stairs and stuff. And I'm like, wow, that's amazing. It seems like a really cool, like fun video game that like one day I'll buy when it's half off and I have more space. But that would be my choice for kids.
That's awesome.
Brian, do you watch The Completionist on YouTube at all?
I do. I love that guy.
Did you watch his episode on Mario Kart Live?
I did not watch that one yet. No, is it? I don't even know how much of a game it is.
And there is a bit of a game to it. I will say after watching that episode, it is a bit of a gimmick, but the way that he made tracks throughout the offices is very cool. Because you're sitting there with your DS or with the DS, with your Switch, or it's on the TV, and just driving around and seeing the barriers. Because apparently it works very well as long as if you're within a certain range. But just like, because he made a racetrack with all the limited edition collector video game sets that he has with all the statues and the boxes. It looks really cool from like above. Is like, oh, this looks neat. But when you're seeing it from the cart's point of view, it actually looks really neat.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like the cart comes with a camera too, so you have like first person view, and I'm like, that's pretty sick. And
if you're playing multiplayer, even though people will always have like a Mario car on your screen, they'll show up as different characters.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And I'm sure that's something that like they can like patch and make better over time. Even though Nintendo really doesn't as often to do that kind of thing. I hope they do. It just seems like a really cool thing that like I would love to have if I was like 10 years old today.
Yeah.
And rich. Yes.
Yeah.
If you actually had a giant ass house and it's like, I can do stuff. Like you could like put all the presents and turn your presents and Christmas tree into a Mario Kart Holiday Rainbow Road, essentially.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'm just using like the sidewalk out here to like all cracked and broken and like break the Mario Kart. Yeah.
May I go next?
Sure.
I was thinking, what did I love as a kid? You know, I made little paper lightsabers. You know, I loved lightsabers as a kid. I loved so much so that it still carries over now. I'm dying to make one at Galaxy's Edge.
Me too.
So this is actually something I would like to have in a way as an adult, but certainly as a kid, they have now released a Darksaber toy.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
And it's available online at Target. And I love the Darksaber. I've loved it since Clone Wars. It's in Mandalorian, so this is on my mind. If I saw that Darksaber toy at Target when I was a kid, oh hell yeah!
Does it extend or is it already extended?
It's already, because it's a lightsaber that you can play with. It's already out.
Yeah. That makes sense.
It's already extended, and it's got the light up, so it's got the white rim and the black samurai sword ass thing. I was like, man, that's cool. Coincidentally, if they were to make a nice one at Galaxy's Edge, I would immediately go for that.
Yeah, I'd figure out a way to get some money for that.
Yeah. Have you seen the Darksaber lamp that they made?
No.
Disney made like a Darksaber lamp that's being sold, and so it's like you set it up and it's the blade, and when you light up the light, it lights up around the blade, and that's the light.
Oh, that's
cool. Yeah. So the other side of that, like now me as an adult, Galaxy's Edge, they release like character lightsabers. You can buy Luke and Leia's and whatever's. If they made the Darksaber one, I would go for that.
That'd be very sick.
Yeah, it's awesome. I have had a deeper desire and attraction to detailed figures. as of late. Dragon Ball, sure. That's a pretty obvious one. But I think right now, I'd probably be asking for as a kid is the upcoming and already released for a couple of them Marvel's Legends of the X-Men figures. Yeah. Yeah.
That's my second gift.
Is that going to be your recommended?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So we can segue into the recommended with that too. The X-Men Hoxpox figures are pretty freaking cool.
The legend set this time is every single character is excellent, and the build a figure is excellent.
Yeah. So I would have a hard time not asking for those, I think.
Yeah.
Of course, I don't know if I'd be reading that as a kid necessarily, but if I was, that'd be on my mind for sure. I also, it doesn't exist, but like in classic child fashion, this is what I would do if I were like at the still believe in Santa, age. I would ask for a Black Label figure of current Boba from Mandalorian, the new armor, the clean armor.
Dude, give it literally like a month.
No, I know it'll happen.
Yeah.
But it doesn't exist now, and I'm saying like I would wish like that's what I'd want in this moment right now. I want that figure. I want the Boba.
Every now and then I look at the black figures, and there's some that I want. Like I wanted the Qui-Gon way back when, but they released a new Bo-Katan and it's got Katie Sackhoff's face. It's not the anime face anymore, and I'm like, it's gonna be hard for me not to get that one.
Black Label figures are awesome.
Yeah, they're really cool.
I got a K2SO right up there.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, a Boba Fett of that would be awesome.
So as Ryan was bringing up, our next section is Christmas gifts you'd recommend to a nerd right now. Ryan's would be Hoxpox Legends figures.
It's Moira McTaggart, who one has never had an action figure before, so it's crazy that she has an action figure. But it's Professor X with the helmet, it's Magneto, it's the dope Wolverine, it's Jean Grey, it's Cyclops, like it's the whole crew you want, and they build that epic three-headed tri-sentinel from Hoxpox. They're all really well done, and they all come with like little gadgets and stuff like the new figures do. And like Legends have just like for decades just been getting better and better and better. And like I'm never disappointed with a Legends line. I feel like maybe characters that I don't want, but like they're always good figures.
I always wanted the Cosmic Ghost Rider one they released a couple years ago now, right?
Yeah. I really want the Nimrod. But they sell it with Phantom X and Psylocke. And I'm like, man, I want that Nimrod figure so bad.
Yeah. All the X-Men line the last like 2 years since Hoxpox started have just been excellent.
Yeah.
And the language on the box is Krakoan.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Which I think is a really cool touch.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. So I'm still admiring this. Apologies.
That's fine. And that looks really cool. I'm excited for my brother to get one.
What did you get him an Oakland A's one? Or?
No, I got him that same one. He's not too much into baseball, but it's a really nice gift. So I was like, he's in LA, so he said that I'm kind of getting into the Dodgers. So I was like, okay, get him that one.
Yeah. I'll go next on a gift to recommend. So I'm pretty sure I mentioned One Up Arcade a few years ago, but there's another company that that's actually has been around for a while. It's called Numbskull, and they make something called the Quartercade, which is a 1/4 size, fully functional arcade cabinet. And this year they came out with a special Pac-Man 40th anniversary edition.
I've seen that at Best Buy.
Yeah, so it's really tiny. It looks like a life-size arcade. It looks like an arcade cabinet, but it's only 1/4 the size. So it's easy to put in the house, especially if you don't have a lot of space. The game works. It's the original game. It's not the NES version, so it's not a ROM hack. It's the original Pac-Man game, and the art looks great. And it celebrates Pac-Man's 40th anniversary, which was 2020. So it's something that I saw. I'm like, oh man, that'd be really cool to have because I love arcade art. And I mean, I'm wearing my neon retro arcade hat today because I'm missing arcades. A lot of places like that are hurting right now because of the pandemic. But just like looking in a room and seeing a whole bunch of arcade cabinets just lined up, seeing the art, seeing their screens lit up, and the multicolor, like the beautiful pixels of that. It's kind of like a Christmas tree in a way. I know it's gonna sound weird, but it's just seeing those lined up, or even being able to take one of those home. Because I mean, a full size one is really big. It's bulky. you have to take a lot of great care of it. You have to make sure it still runs. Whereas this one's, it's nice, it's small, and you're able to fit it in your home a lot easier than a giant. And don't get me wrong, the giant one, cool. But if you don't have the space for it, and you definitely don't have the money for it, these would be nice little compact for that retro fan in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are dope.
For the nostalgia's bitch, you know.
Nostalgia's bitch approved.
I like that. Can you give me a clean slate of that?
Approved by Nostalgia's bitch. He knows nostalgia because he's his bitch.
No, do the one you just did. I just want Nostalgia's bitch approved.
Nostalgia's bitch approved.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Clean slate.
Just want that. Okay, Sparks, do you want to go next? Okay, I'll go next.
Yeah. Sorry, Ryan had it muted because
I was
he was
muted.
pulling up wrapping paper, so I couldn't.
Oh, I see.
So you couldn't hear that?
I can go if you want.
No, I'll do it. I'll do it. This segment has always been a little tough for me because I don't go out right now because I'm thinking like, if I was at the toy store right now, if I was at Target right now, I would see someone be like, man, as a kid I like that, or as like someone else would like that. Most of the time, it's just good for you guys. But what I think would be really great for a nerd today, if you're especially one who likes Funko Pops, I think the make your own Funko is a really cool thing.
Oh yeah.
You can make your friends, you can make yourself, you can make anyone. Like if you like Funko Pops, who doesn't want to be a Funko Pop?
It's like Build-A-Bear, but for yourself.
Right. It's like they also have like his and her getting married, so you can like have cake toppers as Funko Pops.
Oh, that's cute.
And they look like you. You can make yourself as a superhero. Like I think it's a really cool just thing that you can do at the Funko store for a friend or for yourself. And yeah,
it definitely makes it so that like you can put it up there with all your other Funkos and be like, "Look, you made it, kid."
Well, there was one. So for years, and this kind of goes back to like years ago when we did our when we were a Funko affiliate way back when. We made Funkos of ourselves, Funko characters of ourselves, and we shared it, and that was our announcement. And so like ever since then, I've always been like, I would love just for us a quote unquote fake nerd podcast line of Funko Pops, just because I like our own merch, and I think it'd be cool. So my whole thing would be like, I want you guys, I want to get one for all of you. I want to make those pictures that we did into Funko Pops. Can't do that right now, so sorry. But that was like something that I've always wanted. It's just like
for sure
a fake nerd podcast line of Funko Pops.
Yeah, that'd be rad.
Could I like have a Doctor Doom like cloak as on me, or
if they have one?
Okay, because like if you're like you're making a regular person, do you only get to do regular person stuff?
No, you can make yourself as a superhero.
Okay, cool. Because like if like you want to be like a stormtrooper or like Superman or something, that'd be fun.
Yeah, they have right now. When I went there, they had a Supergirl.
Mm-hmm.
And then they give you like stickers that you can put decals on your shirts.
Oh.
Right on. I love it.
So we can have like little fake nerd podcast stickers on our shirts.
Well, we would have to make that one ourselves, but they give you like your own that you can do.
Yeah, but the thing is, we could.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that.
All right, Sparks.
I think what I'd actually recommend right now, if you can afford to, is to get a nerd a Switch if they don't have it.
Yeah.
As a person who has either been involved with or actually gotten someone else a Switch this year, I gotta say, like it's a good time to get a Switch for people, especially with the Switch Lites, because the Switch Lites, like if someone who isn't really going to want to connect it with a television, or that's not important to them, or that kind of thing. It's a nice like $100 that you save. It's a portable gaming system.
I got one for Zara this year.
Ooh. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, Megan's mom and sister just got her a Switch Lite, which she was playing earlier this morning. Even though we own a Switch, it's now she has her own Switch, which is something she clearly wanted. And so I think that this is a good time to consider that in the midst of this pandemic, having a personal access gaming device, I think opens up a lot more people to video games to begin with, but also the Switch has just turned out to be a really good way to do it. So that would probably be one of my top recommendations.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I I'm surprised I never mentioned the Switch before because I was the first one to get a Switch in our friend group, right? The four of us.
Yeah.
I've been championing that console ever since it came out. I absolutely adore my Switch. I'm trying to convince a lot of my friends who don't have a Switch to get a Switch.
It was really simple for me to, because right now it's difficult financially, but for Black Friday they had them for only $300.
Yeah.
So I was like, I can do that.
Yeah.
And the Switch really is a great console. I mean, connected to the TV and connected, and you can just play handheld. I cannot tell you how many times I'm playing Dark Souls with my brother, and Fanny's playing Animal Crossing in handheld mode, or vice versa. She's watching TV. I'm playing Panzer Paladin on the handheld.
I just put Fortnite on my Switch.
You could get Fortnite on your Switch. I just got Among Us for my Switch. I'm playing.
I got that too.
Oh, we need to play Among Us.
Is Dead by Daylight on Switch?
No.
No, it's not. It's not on the Switch. No. But the Switch, I mean, you have your amazing first-party titles, Animal Crossing, Breath of the Wild, Mario, but then you have all the indie games. Like there's an indie game coming out that I was watching the other day, or a trailer called Cyber Shadow, and it looks rad. Panzer Paladin, it's an 8-bit game that's eventually getting a collector's edition physical release, which I might get because why not? And these games run beautifully on that system. It's a great system. That's a really good gift idea for a nerd, Sparks.
It's a really good place for indie games.
Yeah.
And that's why I think it has such a wide market appeal, especially as they've added so much more to the Switch marketplace. I'm like, and having the online pass, which is only $20 for a year, and you get all these retro games just immediately there that you can access. I'm like, it's really hard to beat that kind of versatility.
Yeah.
And they're still putting more up. Donkey Kong Country 3 was just added to the Nintendo's to the online thing. I mean, tiny little criticism, they're not adding as much games as I had hoped, but the thing is the fact that they're still adding games to this service and they're not taking games away, which was originally announced, makes me happy. So it's like, cool, I have like 3 different ways to play the original Super Mario Bros, but I still can play it. And no harm, no foul. And it's super easy.
Yeah, the Switch is dope. Nintendo has very famously been not anti-indie games, but they were very, what's the word, like secluded in their game making. Like they were worried about Nintendo shit and they didn't really care about anything else. If you wanted to make other stuff, like if you look at the Wii, like the indie games on there are not. And if you look at the N64 and like the GameCube, like the small games barely existed on there. Like the Switch is the best time for indie games Nintendo has ever had.
To be fair, there's a lot of shovelware on the Wii, but the stuff for the N64, that's kind of Nintendo's fault because back in the day, especially during the NES era, because the NES came out off the heels of the crash of '83. And that's when Nintendo licensed out their stuff for third-party developers. They had those strict quality rules because they realized it wasn't the market just became oversaturated with bad games. That's why the market failed.
But then they made the Wii, and the Wii has probably the worst games of any console generation because literally half of the Wii shop is bad shovelware, and shovelware and indie games are not the same thing. Shovelware are games made just to make money. Indie games are made for love. And the Switch right now, Hades is on the Switch and on the PC. It is not on consoles. It is on the Switch. That alone tells you how important indie games are to Nintendo right now.
Yes,
Remind me after we're done recording to add Hades to my wish list on my Switch. But besides that, Ryan, you'll also be happy because I watched all 3 of Scott the Waz's videos on shovelware, and good God, there's a lot of it.
It was a dark period. It was a very dark period for Nintendo. Man.
The first-party Nintendo titles on the Wii were great. Zelda, Super Mario Galaxy, Smash Bros was great on that system.
Man. Nintendo always makes great games. It's when they stop caring about the smaller stuff under it is when the Wii was the worst of it. And then luckily now with the Switch, they're a lot better about it. But they're just very behind on modern sensibilities. Sure. And like they're finally at a point where like, hey, we can allow anyone to play any game. Who cares?
Yeah.
It just took them like 100 years or whatever.
Yeah. Stay tuned in 2021 for Basement Arcade Pause Menu, everyone.
On
the damn ground.
On that note, let's move into our round robin. Usually our Christmas round robins are individual topics that we come up with, but this year we decided to pick offbeat Christmas movies off Brandon's recommendation. So each of us picked a single film that either has Christmas themes, takes place during Christmas, whatever have you, but is not a traditional Christmas film. and we're going to talk about them one at a time.
Yeah,
Where do we want to start, guys?
Let's start with Die Hard, because I think
the most obvious one.
It's because it's the one I think we've all seen. It's the one everyone knows the most about.
This was Ben's pick?
Yes.
Yeah, this is my pick.
Die Hard's still incredible, guys. Die Hard
movie.
is the most important action movie of the 1980s for so many reasons. Ben, you picked the movie, so you go first. But I just want to talk about.
I did. So when I was watching this, I think I came to the realization that this is the first time I ever saw Die Hard from the beginning to the end. Because all the bits of that, because I thought I saw Die Hard only through osmosis by people talking about it, seeing clips online, seeing people like make memes about it. And now that I finally seen the whole movie, it's a great movie. I'm like, but why do people call this? It just takes place during Christmas. Although
that's what we're talking about. Like, we're not getting into the debate of whether or not Die Hard is a Christmas movie or not.
Yeah. But it is a fantastic. It's full of 80s fun. I was watching with Fanny last night, and there were times where Fanny was like, "He should be out of bullets. Why? How come he's?" Because there are times where John McClane's going, just like going rat-tat-tat-tat-tat, and he's like, he should be empty. But halfway through, it's like, you know what? I don't care anymore. This is just stupid fun. And I had a blast with Die Hard.
I will push back on these stupid fun. I think that script is really solid and smart.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
It is. Absolutely is.
Gruber, Alan Rickman, Rip, fantastic.
I will say this every time we ever mention it. This was Alan Rickman's first movie. He was 42 years old. Don't give up on your dreams.
Nope. Don't.
I was fascinated by that. He was 42 years old when his acting career started. He was a theater actor, and nobody cared. I love Rickman.
No, because in another movie we're going to talk about, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, Harmony mentions, it's like, oh, she's 35, you're done, you missed your window. It's like, Alan Rickman was 42.
Well, it's completely.
That's a sexist thing. That is
a
different conversation.
Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is a like satire on how shitty Hollywood is. That is not in the same conversation.
But I do want to like touch on something with what Ben was bringing up before about this being a Christmas movie. Ben, I can tell you exactly where that really comes from. Die Hard gets labeled as a Christmas movie because Die Hard was the first thing that like men can like a Christmas movie. It's not a comedy, a romantic film. It's a man's Christmas movie, and that's why Die Hard became the icon of it's a Christmas movie. It's the greatest Christmas because we live in a patriarchal society. That's why
it's not the Hallmark or the Lifetime movie where the city girl moves to the country.
Well, it's not the Grinch.
Yeah, essentially, it's not the Grinch.
Yeah, that's really it. And then like it just got to maintain that status even as other movies have been made that like also do what it did. It was the most iconic and first.
Yeah. Okay, I mean, I loved it. I had a blast just seeing how seeing Alan Rickman as Hans Gruber just be as menacing as possible, being kind, he is as much as I love Bruce Willis as John McClane, Alan Rickman is the highlight. I will watch this movie for Alan Rickman alone.
His scene with John McClane is incredible.
When he first finds him, he's like, and
then he pretends to be an American.
He puts on that American accent. Oh, I love it so much.
Oh man,
yeah, that's a really good sequence. Ryan is absolutely correct, though. This is a really important action movie into the 1980s. You want to dive into that?
No. Yeah, because this came out in 1988, so it's at the tail end of the 80s. But before that, we had nothing but Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone and Steven Seagal and Jean-Claude Van Damme and all these bigger-than-life bad boys who masculinity is the number one priority. And this was a movie where it showed that, oh my God, a regular dude is getting cut up, and he's not a superhero. He's just a regular guy trying to just save his wife.
That's the issue I have with the most recent sequels.
Absolutely. He is a superhero in those movies, fundamentally losing the point of the entire franchise.
Right. Yeah.
John McClane is, again, this is why, like, when we talked about Bruce Willis a couple weeks ago, Bruce Willis is so good in this movie. And it's such a shame to see that he just does not care anymore. That dude is so charismatic.
That was the saddest thing for me about revisiting this film was going like, oh my God.
He's got it.
What happened? Like, he just gave up.
Yeah.
And this was his breakout role.
Yeah, I would say even up until 3. I think three's the best sequel of all the sequels. I think 3 is a good movie, and that's still him riding the line of almost approaching superhero. But once we get to 4, that dude's jumping off jet planes. He's straight up a superhero.
3 is with a vengeance, right?
Yeah, with Sam
Yes.
Jackson. Yeah,
Okay, so Die Hard, Die Hard 2, Die Harder, Die Hard 3 with a Vengeance. Got it.
Yeah,
And then stop.
and that's it. They never made another one.
And then there's supposed to be a fourth because they were supposedly filming the fourth one at my old high school.
McClane.
No, the fourth one's out. It's the fifth one they're working on called McClane, which is a prequel.
It's the sixth one that's out.
The sixth one that they're working on.
Oh my god!
You're forgetting about Die Hard.
The Jai Courtney's is my son movie.
Courtney.
So
God.
Die Hard 4, the National Data Association in Virginia, that is Diamond Ranch High School in Pomona, California. That is where I went to high school my freshman and half my sophomore year.
Wow.
Yeah. Just Die Hard. Just watch Die Hard. Forget the good sequels. Just watch Die Hard. It's
just
the
watch
best.
Die Hard.
I wanna mention some trivia real quick that I think three of us know, but I don't think Ben knows. Initially, so Die Hard is actually based off a book that is a sequel.
I saw that it was based off a book.
Yeah, so it's based on a book. The book is a sequel that was adapted at one point with Frank Sinatra as the John McClane character. The name was changed for Die Hard.
That's right.
So Frank Sinatra had it in his contract that should they ever work on a sequel, he had to be approached, not cast, approached.
Mm-hmm. This was in the making of something, right? In the
yeah. I mean, I've heard it before, but yeah, it was in the Movies That Made Us.
Yes.
So Sinatra has in his contract 40 years go by. Hey, we're working on the sequel. Shit, we got to go talk to Frank Sinatra, who's now 80. So they're like, we can't. He can't say yes, right? So they go to him and they like tell hey, here's what we're doing. These are the changes we're making. It's now called Die Hard, but it's you, Frankie. It's you, Frankie, baby. And Frank Sinatra passed, and so they went to cast Bruce Willis.
He's like, I'm dying.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite stories of just like we almost had a Frank Sinatra Die Hard.
80-year-old Frank Sinatra Die Hard.
Oh my god!
Oh man,
we'll have a few laughs.
Or he's trying to sing. He's like, "Yippee ki yay, mother!"
And here's the thing: Frank Sinatra did some really good dramas in the 40s and 50s.
In the 40s and 50s, Brandon.
No, like we're good. We didn't need a Frank Sinatra Die Hard.
That is funny. I watched like a behind the scenes like a YouTube video somebody made about the making of Die Hard, and John McTiernan, who directed Predator before this, which is also an excellent classic action movie. He got the script for this, and he was like, the bad guys are just terrorists. And that makes the script just super dour and lame, and it has no character. So he rewrote the entire script and all the bad guys to make them all very diverse. And there are a bunch of what seem to be terrorists are actually just bank robbers. And it's this entire ruse of like, you think they're doing this thing, but they're just there to steal money. And it's actually a very lame plot. But he was hiding it like, oh, I'm actually more genius than I think. Actually, I'm just a bank robber. And that's what makes it so genius, because Hans Gruber is actually just kind of a shitty asshole. He's not as cool as
his line is, "I'm a very good bank robber."
Exactly, yeah. And I just think like he presents himself better than I think he actually is as a criminal. And I just think that that lends to the character even more. Yeah. I love Die Hard. Like I forgot how much
I was waiting for the reveal that he was going to Nakatomi Plaza to blackmail the president or do something, because it's like, oh, you're doing all these horrible things to the world. Like when he's saying, oh, release these comrades, and then he's like, and I think it was Carl, the blonde guy who dies at the very, very end. And he's
he's like Asian Dawn, and he's like,
I read about it in Time magazine. And it's like, wait, so is this guy like a political dude, or is he just like? And then when he says, "I'm an exceptional thief," at the end, he's like, "Oh, you're a wow, you just want to rob this building, okay?"
I think some of my favorite stuff is is it Alan, the cop down below, the black cop,
Sergeant Powell.
He's supporting him from below in their conversations with each other, and then every time the deputy chief gets involved, he's like, "You stay out of this." And he's like, "I'm not the one that just got butt." Yeah, in front of the whole nation. And then it's like he just owns that guy, and that guy just has to like shut up and walk away.
Yeah.
Or even how sleazy the FBI guys are. Where it's like, oh, we might lose 25%.
The guy when he's just like, just like Saigon, right? I wasn't in Saigon.
I really love I also love the one guy, like when they're first bringing in the LAPD to everything, and there's the one guy who's just like, send in the car.
I want to real quickly mention John McTiernan. As Ryan, you brought him up, this is the director of this film. He's directed some amazing movies. I want to real quickly just highlight his movies. A Predator, of course, which we talked about, Die Hard. The Hunt for Red October is an incredible movie.
Oh yeah.
I still say it's the best Jack Ryan movie. The Last Action Hero with Arnold Schwarzenegger is such a good movie.
Hell yeah.
He did Die Hard 3, which is the best of the sequels.
Mm-hmm.
The Thomas Crown Affair, which is an underrated Pierce Brosnan movie in my eyes.
All right.
And then after that, The 13th Warrior, which I have not seen, and his last movie was basic.
That's with Antonio Banderas. That's actually really good. It's
nice.
You got really good Viking action. You got some really cool sword fights. Ooh, I want to watch 13th Warrior.
Yeah.
That is a good movie.
That's a great movie.
And then
it all came back.
John McTiernan went to jail for tax evasion.
And which is why his last movie was in 2003, Basic.
Yeah, I think he's out now, but he went to jail for a bit.
He's out, but he can't get work again.
Yeah, don't be a bad guy. Yeah.
Excellent movie.
Real quick before we move off of it, I think my favorite line absolutely in the whole movie is when he's talking to the lady who's like, this is an emergency channel only. He's like, no shit, lady, do you think I'm ordering a pizza?
Yeah.
I love because you just hear it from their side. Don't hear it from John McClane's side. Oh, no. He's just like, no shit, lady. What was the line? I always like that John McClane talks to himself. Yeah. Where he's like, what are you doing, John? Come on, John. Why did you do that?
Why did you go in there, John? Because you'd be dead too, you dummy. It's very unique, and it works really well with this like early I give a crap Bruce Willis.
Yeah. Yes. I miss him. I miss that.
Me too.
Die Hard's awesome. That's a great film. It was nice to revisit it. So thanks for picking it, Ben, because I haven't watched Die Hard in a while.
I was glad to finally sit through it and be like, no, and appreciate the movie as it is. It is such a fun action movie. It is such a great flick. Alan Rickman in his breakout role, seeing his first big screen, because the first time I saw him was in it was either Harry Potter or which one came out first, Harry Potter or Galaxy's Quest?
Harry Potter.
They both came out in 2000, I think.
No, then Galaxy Quest, because Harry Potter was 2001.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Yeah, Galaxy Quest.
All right, so the first time I ever saw Alan Rickman was in Galaxy's Quest, and of course I didn't recognize him.
Okay, hold on. I'm sorry. Are you saying Galaxy's Quest?
He is. Ben, it's Galaxy Quest.
A single Galaxy.
I wasn't sure.
So Galaxy Quest was the first movie I saw him in, and of course the Harry Potter films. It's like, oh, that's Severus Snape. And now to watch him in his first breakout role is like, man, he was always talented. He was always amazing. Makes me miss him even more.
Here's another fun fact for you, Ben. The scene where he falls off the building.
It's a natural fall, right?
Yeah, they said we're gonna catch 3 and you're gonna fall. So they go 1.
Yeah, fantastic.
He has like a severe fear of heights, right?
Yes. So he's like, okay, they're gonna catch 3. Okay, 1. Okay, 1. Ah! That's his real reaction because he's like really terrified.
You can see it too, where he's like.
I want to say in Spider-Man when Green Goblin has Mary Jane off the edge, I guess some of those shots were real screams because they told Kirsten Dunst, like, okay, we're gonna drop you at a certain time. She's like, okay, and then they just like 1 drop.
They call that the McTiernan effect.
Yeah. Remember,
early.
Remember that Green Goblin got stabbed in the balls and that's how he died?
Oh yes. Yeah.
Don't tell Harry.
Okay. What movie next?
Wait, I want to real quickly. I have an anecdote from last year that I want to revisit real quickly with you guys.
Okay.
That moment when Ben says has been saying Galaxy's Quest, not Galaxy Quest, which by the way, I can't believe I didn't catch that the entire time I've known you. Is when last year when Ben says my Asian family, and
it's the Moen family, and we all go.
One by one, the 3 of us immediately, like, you can see it in the video. I love that it's fun because you can see it in the video of the 3 of us individually realizing what Ben just said. Because we all just go, wait, what?
Yeah, all of us just go,
what?
Yeah. didn't compute. What happened?
That was really funny.
He's like, Ben, I hate to tell you, bring it to you. I don't think you're Samoan. I'm not. They adopted me.
It was just a really funny moment. Anyway, back to the round robin.
All right. Who wants to go with their next movie?
I'll go.
All right.
I picked Shane Black's first directorial debut, 2005, and Robert Downey Jr.'s return to movies, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. This is a convoluted, on purpose, modern Los Angeles noir detective story. I think there's a lot to love in this movie. I think Robert Downey Jr. that dude just oozes charm. That dude was born to be a star. He went through his own personal shit, like we all know that, and then Shane Black was a good buddy of his, like, I'm gonna get you in this movie, I think you're right for it, and he kills it. I think he's great. I think this is Val Kilmer's best movie, maybe. Like, I don't know a better Val Kilmer performance, honestly, like in at least the last 15 years.
I love Val Kilmer in this movie.
I've never seen it before.
I've never seen it before either, but oh man, as I was watching this movie, I was like, oh no, I want to find out what happens. What's going on? Like, I've always heard about Kiss Kiss Bang Bang as being a drama. And I think I've gotten mixed it up with another film. But I'm watching this movie and it's hilarious. And I'm like, man, this is a blast. This is a blast.
Yeah. Brandon, you said you loved it, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, it got cut out. Yeah, I really, really enjoyed it also. I thought this was really good. I like have one gripe, and then otherwise I really like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. My only gripe is that they make a thing about, and this is 2005. This is part of the time period.
Yes.
And I accept that, but they make a thing of his character being both obsessed with sex, but also a prude. And that doesn't necessarily bother me, except that he has this whole perspective of women in LA, young women, and how promiscuous they are and things like that.
Yeah.
And there's nothing in the film that ever counters that message. You know what I mean? Like, there's all of her character is still designed to reinforce the exact thing he's saying. It's just that it's not important to her.
Yeah.
It doesn't say you're wrong to think about it that way. And I do find it particularly gross the way that he goes into describing it when she has already explained that her sister was molested by her father.
Yes.
And he's like, all these girls who come here have some kind of uncle or something who touched me in the no-no plate. Like, that's a really just not good presentation. And like, you can have that character, but you need to have something in the film that's countering that message. There's nothing in the film to counter the message. Yeah. Which is my only gripe about it. Otherwise, completely entertaining, very, very fun.
I absolutely agree. Like, it is unfortunately a product of its time. And like, I do think it is somewhat progressive with having Perry be a main character, but I also think just being 2005 and it being written by Shane Black, like, some of it just comes off a little too much at times. But,
well, what I was going to say was that my gripe, similar to Sparks, is that it's a 2005 very casually homophobic.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, because Perry is gay as a character, but there's a homophobia attached to him, both around him and in him himself. Yeah. That is like, it doesn't sit well.
It does. Yeah. It definitely has not. I haven't seen this movie in a while. It definitely does not age well. I don't think it ruins the movie, but it's definitely a thing of just like, man, like, if this would have came out 10 years later, you would have nixed half these jokes, I bet.
Yeah.
Like when he shoots the gun through the crotch, and he's like, "That's just a gun. I just thought it was something you guys' penises do."
Yeah. I think some of those jokes do work, but I do think most of them don't.
As character pieces for Robert Downey Jr. being maybe a little homophobic, that's fine. But like most of the movie, like they call him Gay Perry.
Yeah,
right. Like most of the movie, including the character of Perry himself, has a sense of homophobia to it.
Yeah.
Again, like, that's the same thing as the problem with Perry's sexual prudeness, is that if it were just his character and there were other things in the film conveying other messages, but everything in the film supports his perspective. And nothing contradicts it. And that's where it gets like problematic.
Yeah.
But past that, entertaining performances, such a joy to watch Val Kilmer and Robert Downey Jr. play off each other. Val Kilmer just wanting to shut the hell up.
I would love, like, everyone wants like a Nice Guys like reunion, but I'm like, give me a Kiss Kiss Bang Bang reunion. Yeah. Because I need Val Kilmer and Robert Downey Jr. I need stupid Harry getting told how dumb he is by Perry all the time. And he's just like, get off, I gotta go. Can you get off the car? I gotta go. I gotta go.
And pushes him off the car.
or he's like, as he's walking, as he's like driving off, okay, bye, die, and just drives off. And I'm like, Perry's so good and Val Kilmer's so good. I'm like, how do people not utilize Val Kilmer? Because like that dude can be good. Like it's such a shame.
Yeah, the only other thing I can think of in the past like decade, where not even decade, I think it's been more.
Yeah.
Where he was a standout was MacGruber.
That was I think that was over a decade ago now.
Yeah.
I think that was like 2009, 2010. Yeah.
But like I remember him being like really good, a really good foil for that movie.
Yeah. I think the detective plot, it is purposely convoluted, because it's kind of not really the point, even though like you can figure it out if you pay attention. It's kind of not really the point.
It's really not.
And like even the narration is like, oh, I skipped over this. Oh shit, I'm a bad narrator. Like I like all that stuff. And like
I really like the narration. I think the narration helps a lot to the movie. There, especially when we see the flashback again, and he's like, maybe if someone had learned how to block, what are you guys doing? Move!
Oh, yeah.
That kind of humor is so good, and Downey delivers it really well. Shane Black writes that kind of stuff really well. You can see where the narration stuff carried over into Iron Man 3 with them.
Absolutely.
It plays very, very well.
Yeah.
I love the narration stuff with Robert Downey Jr.
Especially at the end when Lincoln walks into the
Elvis. Bring everybody back. It'll be nice.
It's like all the other people who died, and then he's like, no, it's not that movie. And then the doctor's like, hey, get out of here, leave. And then it's just Barry who's there. I love how Harmony was obsessed with this book series, the John Gossamer books, and how this essentially was just one big John Gossamer case. Because even then, Robert Downey Jr. in the very beginning of the movie is like, hey, there's like two cases, but then at the end of the book, it all melds into one cohesive case. And then it's like, wow, that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Just how like you have the death of Harmony's sister, and then you have Dexter's daughter and everything, and how all that just melds together into one story or one narrative. Actually, I thought it was really cool. I always like
I don't.
A clue pops up. I'm like, oh,
yeah, and I think we don't get a lot of like modern noir stories kind of like this. Like this, it doesn't look like the type of movie it actually is. Like this is a detective story, right? But it's shaped like a weird Los Angeles dramedy. I just really like the structure of it, how it's broken up into like act 1, 2, 3, 4 and epilogue. Like I just think the filmmaking of it is so strong. And it is a bummer that like the script is tied to 2005, because I think without some of that homophobia, I think this is a banger. I think this is the Kiss Kiss banger.
I think the characters are also really likable, which helps. So for example, when Robert Downey Jr. is connecting with Harmony for the first time, like on a personal level, and he's like, "This is the girl that got away," and blah blah blah, and they're making the jokes like, "I'm gonna be over there with Native American Joe Pesci," which I think is a really funny joke. And then when that sequence ends and the next scene starts, he's in bed with the friend, and like myself and Zara, we both like, "What? No, what happened?"
Yeah.
Also, like, real hard credit to Michelle Monaghan for keeping up with Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
It feels like she's really taking him to task on quipping and keeping his speed and everything. She does great in this movie. It's a shame that like I don't think she gets as much notoriety for that kind of talent.
Yeah, I agree.
Or that no one has really used her in the same way that like Downey gets used, where like they're playing to her chops like this. She doesn't get that kind of thing after this.
The chemistry in this movie is seriously insane. I think almost every character works so well together. And I know that's just like the natural chemistry between the actors, or just the script is so good. But like everything just meshes so well, and like every time a character meets another character, I'm like, this is natural, this seems how it would happen. Every little character is fun. I love the beginning when Harry is like robbing a electronics store, and then he shows up and he ends up in an audition, and he actually crying like, I got my friend killed, and I'm like, damn, this guy's a good actor.
It's a really good part of that.
I also want to highlight when Harry kills the black guy.
Yeah, I was gonna highlight this as well. I really
like the rage you see on his face as he keeps like, the more he shoots the gun, because he's like had it that girl has been killed, and then like the moment after when he's like, I killed the guy.
Yeah, He tells, he gets through the important information with Perry first, and then he revisits it, and he's like, Perry, I shot somebody.
With like tears in his eyes.
Yeah, and he's like falling apart.
That goes to the second time he kills someone, which was an accident.
Okay.
I thought
like roulette scene.
It's an 8% chance, and he's like, stop doing math.
Who taught you math?
I just love when he does like the Russian roulette. He's like, and then he's like, why'd you shoot her? I was like, well, it's like you stop multiplying.
No, it's just I put the bullet in. It was like there was like an 8%, but 8%. Stop doing math.
I really like this movie. Does surprise you with its choices. That's a really good example where like you just don't expect it to go that way, and it does. It just makes you live in the consequences of those kind of actions.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fun to it. It's a tight movie.
Yeah.
It moves at a really great pace. Really enjoy it. Yeah.
The last thing I'll say is when Perry gets shot, and Harry goes to give him mouth to mouth, and then like blood comes out, like he realizes that like, oh, Perry's dead, and he like spits out blood. I'm like, oh, that's a sad, gross, good scene. And then it's like, oh, you need a happy ending. Here's Perry, and I'm like, oh, of course, I love it.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting how the juxtaposition. It flows so well. It's almost kind of like what Taika Waititi does with like Jojo Rabbit. There's the moment where he's like. Where he can't revive Perry because of the blood, and then he's like hanging on the dead girl's arm.
Oh my god! He does like a perfect shot.
Yeah, so like the juxtapositions of those like really dramatic and really comedic scenes work really well.
Yeah. Also, when he pulls the book out, and then Harmony is like, "Oh, the bullet did go through." He's like, "Oh."
Yeah. Oh, it stopped the bullet, and then she puts the finger through the book, and like, oh no.
No, yeah. There's a lot of fun here. It's a shame that it's got like some really, really gross non-PC stuff, both about women and gay people.
I like what you said earlier. Like if they fought against like the LA like stereotype that like was being presented, I would like it more. But like it shows you like, oh, this is how all women are. And I'm like, I thought that's what the point of the movie was not supposed to be.
Right. It's that there is a reinforcement of it and never a fight against it.
Yeah.
There's no evidence of it. In fact, one of the things that bothers me the most is that Perry's level is on such prudishness that when she does even kind of open up to him in a sincere way to talk about it, to create a real emotional connection rather than just basing it purely on sex, it's the thing about having slept with his friend, which is enough for him to throw her out of the building while she's crying on the phone calling him about something and still be rude and hang up with her. And I'm like, it's hard to like that particular narrative side of the film.
Yeah.
Because that's really shitty.
Yeah.
It's a shitty perspective of women.
True.
There's no way around it.
When she's on the phone and she's pretending to be the laundromat, I thought that was funny.
Yeah, she was really, really smart, really crafty on that one.
Yeah, I really like Michelle Monaghan. Yeah, it is. She doesn't do enough now, I don't think.
Yeah,
that's a bummer.
It's got great energy. Mm-hmm. Loved it.
I'm glad they reunited for Iron Man 3, which is just another
Iron Man 3.
No, that's not her in Iron Man 3.
Oh.
No, that's a different lady who just looks like her.
Talking about Shane Black on Iron Man 3.
I thought it was Shane Black, Robert Downey Jr., because he wrote and directed
By the
Iron Man
way, didn't Gwyneth Paltrow have like a really quick cameo in this movie, or was I?
No.
Nope.
I know who you're talking about. She looked like her in a shot.
Flicka?
I think when it said there's a blonde early in the film when she first shows up, I was like, is that Gwyneth Paltrow? Then she talked and I'm like, no,
it's not.
Okay. What we do mine next?
All right, Anna and the Apocalypse.
Picked Anna and the Apocalypse. This is the zombie Christmas musical. The poster says La La Land meets Shaun of the Dead. I really enjoyed this film. I saw it a couple of years ago. So what did you guys think?
It's very definitely Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
I don't know if I go so far as La La Land. Like, it has musical numbers. I wouldn't call them La La Land, comparison. But like its musical numbers are there. They're good.
Yeah.
It has good musical numbers.
Oh yeah.
Wait, hold on. You guys are both talking over each other. Which one?
You go, Ben.
Okay.
Just talk.
I really loved the music in Anna and the Apocalypse. I was just not expecting it to be as dark as it was. Like when because I was thinking, oh, okay, there's the asshole ex-boyfriend. He's gonna get his comeuppance later. Here's the boy next door, her best friend. He's gonna be fine. They're gonna get together at the end of the movie. Okay, let's see how it plays out. The second he gets bit, like halfway through the movie, I was like, oh shit.
And there's no such thing as a Hollywood ending.
No.
You say at the beginning of the movie.
You should have known from the beginning.
Yeah, I should have taken that warning better. I did not heed that warning because the second he is like, yeah, he gets bit, and then he holds on her, pushes her out, and then just gets
I really like his sacrifice.
Yeah, and
John.
and to see the kid with the baseball bat. I really like the kid with the baseball bat song. He's an asshole character. I hate him as a character, but I love his song.
He's the best singer, and I'm like, yeah, you're so good. Oh my god, you're just big of an asshole if you're rocking those chops.
Yeah, but even when he sees his friends get eaten as zombies in the Christmas tree store, I was like, ooh, that's. Although I find it funny that one of his buddies had a PS2 controller as his weapon.
Hell yeah!
I'm like, okay, how are you going to use? And then he uses it to grapple zombies. And he was a support role. I'm like, okay, you know what? I can live with that. That's actually pretty genius.
Ryan, what'd you think of it?
I liked it a lot. I think it's a ton of fun. What the thing that is going to be weird to say, the thing I appreciated about it was how low budget it was and how much they were able to do with the low budget. Because like, there's not a lot of gore and there's not a lot of special effects. And if you notice, a lot of the kills, like they're very like off screen or like you're getting stabbed from behind, so you don't see the impact. And none of that bothered me. And I thought like this was clearly made with so much love and attention. I don't really have any complaints. I don't think. It's like all these movies were nice and tight. I love the villain. He's a Game of Thrones alum. Ben, I already told Sparks. He played a red priest. He was like an evil red priest guy for one season. I think it was like season 4 or 5. And it doesn't matter. I like Savage a lot. He reminds me of Crocker from Fairly Odd Parents. I love that character.
It does.
Yeah. His song was probably my favorite, just because he's so just evil, and I love it. And he's like, I finally get to be free. I could be the monster I want to be.
Yeah, he's trying. Oh man, just like, because I thought he was like, when the kids got to the school, I was like, oh cool, they're safe. And then he's like, he shows that the parents and the other adults all turn into zombies because of him. It's like, oh,
no, it's even more sinister than that. He's just having dinner. I'm eating my Christmas dinner.
Yeah, he's super sinister. And I love that character. Anna's very good. It's like she's probably the weakest for me, but she's not bad. Like I like all the characters. I just feel like hers was the most like traditional plot, where I kind of like everyone else's journey. She
didn't have a lot of character traits that were important, that were like explored or anything. She's like the focused character, but she has the least interesting character stuff.
Yeah, I was more fascinated with the bad guy, with the jerk, with the good singer, because like you learned that like, oh, he had to kill his dad, and like he clearly has emotions for his friends, but he feel like he has to put on this tough exterior. I felt like he had the most to chew on, and I liked all the characters though.
I really like Anna and the principal and the headmaster's song at the end, "Raise the Curtain."
Oh yeah.
I think that song's really cool. I really like all the music in this movie, but my favorite character is the American girl.
Yeah,
Steph.
Yeah, I think she's a lot of fun to watch on screen. I follow the actress on Instagram. She's a dancer. She's really good at that, and this is like her only movie that she did, which is a shame because I like her a lot, and I think she brings a really fun presence to that role.
Yeah. I liked all the different dynamics, and like she has like her parents in Mexico that don't care about her and stuff. Like all the different personalities I think worked well together. They're all good singers. All the songs are really good. Man, what was I
love the whole opening sequence, not opening, but like the morning when the John and Anna both get up and they're like, we're going to go to each other. And it's just her like enjoying her life as ignoring, people are dying. And, like
everything is going to hell behind. Like
my favorite is the two girls in the background being like,
yeah.
trying to get her attention.
Yeah, lots of good background stuff in that scene.
No, that scene with Anna and John when they're dancing and they're singing and in the
graveyard,
the apocalypse happens behind them. I thought was hilarious. I was like, this is that must have been a fun day on set where it's like, okay, you just dance around and have a good time. Everyone else, you're dying.
Mm-hmm.
There's a scene. Also, there's like a really grim scene with really happy music playing. There's like a construction worker zombie is eating a baby out of its crib.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
That's rough. Oh, there's a Wilhelm scream in this. And that sequence when the guy falls out of the window, that's a Wilhelm scream.
Oh, missed it. Dang.
Yeah. And then wakes up zombie.
Yeah. No, I thought all of this was put together really well. I like the overall arc of what it's doing, the way that it comes together at the end. I find the ending song the weakest, and I think that's kind of a bummer, because it just, I don't think it landed the moment as well as they wanted it to. But other than that, I think it's pretty well done throughout. It's got good humor, good characters. I love that Savage turns into a Batman villain. Withdraw your tongues.
So good.
There's just a lot of fun stuff. Thanks for giving us this pandemic film Christmas movie.
I know, man. When we first started watching it in the beginning, it was like the CDC guidelines. Now I say blah, blah. I turn his eye, I go, oh no.
Yeah, it started off as a flu, is transformed into something worse. I'm like, oh god.
I think a lot of this movie is unpredictable in who it kills and when.
Oh yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Like the couple, the director and the other girl, the girl who's saying that very sexually.
I love that scene so much. Oh my god! Real quickly, I gotta talk about the scene because it's my favorite scene. Because Grandma just watching this girls think about having sex with his grandson, just thumbs up, smiling.
I love it.
Love it.
That whole scene, and then of course when the dancers come out, you see like it's like
all the men just. Yeah.
They're like, yeah. I find it funny because the women are like, oh, like this one like covers his poor kid's eye.
There's even like a guy who like shifts in his seat. He's like, I don't know what to do now.
What if Savage says something in the booth? It's like
filth.
Filth. He's like spitting. He's so angry. Yeah.
I think he said salacious.
Salacious.
Yeah.
And of course, I forgot the character's name, but she's like rubbing the mic stand in a way.
Yeah. The way the couple goes out is
when the couple finally reunites. I was really happy because you get the scene with her in the school with the girlfriend in the school, and she's scared for her boyfriend who's surviving the apocalypse. They finally get together. It's like, oh please God, let them live, let them live. And when they both get bit and they're just holding each other, I'm like, that is sad as hell.
Yeah,
it's sad and sweet.
Yeah, and like even when they're zombies, they like their hands like barely touch, but because they're zombies now, they don't know who they are.
Yeah, I think their death is really it is really tragic, but it's also sweet that they embrace each other at the end. Like, this sucks, but we're together.
And the dad is looking at his phone. He's looking at the picture of his daughter.
Oh my God, the song "I Need a Human Voice" when they're in the bowling alley and they can't connect and the military is attacking the zombies. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That is a 21st century song. That's fantastic. Bunch of kids that can't talk because they rely on technology. How do we talk? You need a human voice. That is a really good song.
Yeah,
and they can't reach anyone.
Yeah, I thought that was really good too.
And then Apocalypse is a great movie.
I'm glad you guys like it.
I think spoilers. I think these are all good movies. Yeah, crazy.
Yeah. Very sad. Very sad.
Let's get to the last one. Better Watch Out.
Hell yeah, guys! How do you feel about completely traditional home invasion movies that do not defy your expectations at all? How do you feel about it?
Screw you! Okay. Here was my impression of Better Watch Out.
Wait! Hold on, real quick. We are going to spoil Better Watch Out, and I have to stress to you, this movie is so much better if you do not know the twists in Better Watch Out. So please, if you have any inkling to go watch that movie, do not listen to us.
Skip the next 10, 15 minutes.
Just pause it. It's an hour, 30 minutes. Go watch it, or just keep skipping.
The next sequence is time coded. Just skip to that time code.
Yeah, just skip to that. Just skip to that.
Watch Better Watch Out. Watch it.
All right. Spoiler on from here on out. Okay. My first impression was kid, babysitter, other kid, evil Santa comes, invades the home.
Yep.
Like it was like a version of Krampus or something. I don't know. The fact that it was the kid the whole goddamn time, I'm like, what is this bullshit?
Okay, so I also assumed this would be a supernatural film for whatever reason. I don't know why. But I'm watching Home Invasion. Okay, cool.
I think it's title because it's called Better Watch Out, so you think it's going to be like evil Santa supernatural thing.
Yeah, because it's Better Watch Out. And you see that dude it's like you have a pleasant evening. It's like, is that Santa but Devil Santa? Is that Satan?
Also, I know you guys haven't seen the trailers, but
There's just one.
If you watch the trailer, it also does not. It makes it look like it's a home invasion movie.
You don't see a single bit of the kid doing what he's doing,
so
which is why this movie is so good.
Yeah.
But watching this movie, and then when it's revealed that the guy in the house is the friend, I was like, what? I did not see any of this coming.
I was with Ashley. Is like, what is? And then he, like, it's a classic trope of like the kid falls for the babysitter. The babysitter's way too old for him, and it's like okay,
the kid's a psychopath.
Yeah, I didn't realize the kid was gonna be a psychopath at the end. I thought maybe he does help her out, and she maybe like gives him a more heartfelt kiss on. She was like, "Hey, call me in X amount of years," and then she goes off to the sunset or whatever. No,
he is a rich, privileged psychopath, which is super important because he has a sense of entitlement about him that is woof.
Oh yeah.
I do love Patrick Warburton as his father, though.
He deserves a better wife.
Yeah.
He's trying to wear a festive tie, and she's like, "No." He's like, "Ha! I got another one."
Got to back up.
I think it's really funny.
I for Patrick Warburton.
What were you saying?
After we saw the scene of the married couple leave, I turned to Sparks and I'm like, I hope I'm never in a relationship like that, where it's just always antagonistic and you guys are always bickering over nothing. I'm like, that is a literal nightmare for me. That is
He's taking it in stride.
But he's probably like on like a bunch of pills, so who cares?
Ben, what were you trying to say?
I was going to say I really felt bad because he goes up to his wife and he's like, "Hey, honey, how come my ornaments aren't on the tree?" And she's like, and the second her response is, "Are you sure you never sucked another man's cock before?" I was like, "Whoa,
They're married."
That is.
I just want to say, for the record, I did not appreciate that word coming out of his mouth. Anyway,
Ben's mouth?
through Ben's mouth, yes.
Oh.
Sorry.
Yeah, I really like Patrick Warburton, but the kid who played Peter Pan in the Pan movie with Hugh Jackman's Blackbeard,
Levi Miller.
Yes,
Man,
he's great.
He is like he's almost too scary. Like there actually, you might be a little disturbed. You're too good at this.
He's so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
To watch. Like, oh man, there's some scenes where it's just like, I am so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I don't like this at all.
I didn't realize the kind of movie I was watching until the paint can blew up the boyfriend's face. Because I'm watching this movie and I'm thinking, okay, he's deranged. There's only a couple characters. There's not gonna be a high kill count, right? And the kid and the boyfriend, I'm like, oh, I'm kind of into the boyfriend. I like Ricky. I'm team Ricky. Okay.
Yeah.
And just the slow motion of the paint can destroying that guy's face. And then him saying it exploded. I was just like, oh no.
Runs down the stairs laughing.
It worked.
I'm like, oh, did you see that? Did you see that? I was like, what is?
Yeah.
Oh, the best friend, Garrett is it's just such a good character because like he knows this is wrong, but like one, he's young and this is his best friend, and like how do you escape the situation? It's like he just slowly gets deeper and deeper.
He's also drugged.
He's also drugged.
Mm-hmm.
He's also like he's 12 years old on Oxycontin, which is like the strongest narcotic you could buy,
and then getting high on weed,
and then weed. So that dude's just tripping balls until he finally realizes like, oh, I'm doing a super crime. I gotta help. And then, why'd you touch her?
His murder is so heartbreaking and brutal and
yeah.
I want my mom. Oh God!
And every murder. Oh, God, I want my mom. But Jeremy's murder is also, it turns out to be heartbreaking because of the letter he writes.
Yeah.
It's so funny because like both of these guys are like douchebag characters, like as we're told, but we meet them. Like Jeremy's like underage drinking and like he seems kind of like a ruffian.
His whole scene in the car just
I'm doing He's like, oh my Ashley, I'm doing so good.
Was that Billy from Stranger Things?
Yes.
Yeah, he filmed this around the same time as he filmed Power Rangers. Yeah, a couple years ago. He's so good. Like, those boyfriend characters are so good because like they clearly like this lady a lot. And they'll do anything to get to her. And like, Jeremy's like, you want Shakespeare? I'll give her Shakespeare. It's like, I love you so much. You're the best. Please forgive me. Like Shakespeare, baby.
Shakespeare.
Like, oh my God, it's so bad. So
No,
good.
You know what Jeremy reminded me of though when I saw his hat and just like his general demeanor? He reminded me of the meme Scumbag Steve.
That's the same hat. I'm 100% sure it's the same hat as Scumbag Steve. You're 100%
It's not the same hat, but just the way he's wearing it and with the dollar signs, it's like you are trying to be someone you're not.
Yeah.
You are trying so hard to be this top dog. I'm the best of everything. It's obviously not working because you lost Ashley. But at the same, like he's like, oh, I'll give her Shakespeare. It's like,
and it's not. It's like,
but then it's weird because like the whole time he's like talking to Luke. Like I know how deranged Luke is. I'm like, dude, run. But then it was like, I'll give her Shakespeare. It's like, oh wow, he's actually gonna try and write. But the way he dies is just so unexpected, and it's like, yikes.
With the Christmas music playing as he's hoisted up, and it's just like, oh my god,
man. I thought I was being.
I always kind of like how this movie plays with expectations because it was bit with a pencil. That they're like, we keep this pencil under the rug. I'm like, okay, so they're gonna use the pencil to save this can be the killing blow to the whatever this is, the pencil, and like immediately just gets jammed in the boyfriend's face. I'm like, all right, well, I don't freaking know movies then.
After the paint can kill, there's a really good shot of his feet where the paint is running down, but then blood starts running down with it. Yeah. And it's just like, I'm like, man, this is a good movie.
Yeah.
Like,
we're mixing.
It looks like ketchup and mustard are getting mixed together.
Oh my god! But the damn ending when it's just like he's covering up his tracks and he remembers all the things that he forgot, and you're like, oh shit, is he gonna get away with it? Because the film has been so unpredictable at this point. You could conceivably think that he would get away with it. This would be just the end of the movie, and then someone's alive.
Well, first, like he tries to kill her. He's like he stabs her in the back, and then he's like, okay, tracks. Or in the neck.
Yeah, it stabs her in the neck. So it makes it look like he slit her jugular. So it's like, okay, it's the death. But then when it's revealed that she put duct tape on it to stop the bleeding.
Yeah.
And I was
just
like, oh.
Just the end.
Yeah. Yeah, so I love that. I love that as she's being taken in and he's like, sort of.
Even when Luke is trying to get into his room after putting the pencil up and just like trying to escape going on the roof, he sees his parents go up and he's trying to like, oh shit. But I got this weird sense of like Joker, but not like Joaquin Phoenix Joker, but just a sense of the Joker when he's dancing around and he's fixing the evidence to make the crime scene look like it was the ex-boyfriend who killed everyone, and he was just asleep, just like knocked out asleep.
Plan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the what felt really Joker to me is when he walks in after giving hot chocolate to all the carolers.
Oh yeah.
And he just walks in and he's just like, they got a couple new people. It really helped their harmonization.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God.
He's like so on a different level. He does such great work with like playing with the gun around. There's something uncomfortable about, and like it's definitely on purpose with how much his voice cracks.
Oh yeah.
That takes it back to like the level of how old he's supposed to be, and you're like, oh, this is so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like, this is so uncomfortable.
Like I want to say one of the scenes that really got that uncomfortable when his voice is cracking and when he's screaming is when he's yelling at Garrett, like, look what you made me do, look what you made me do. And then Garrett's still like, dude, he's like, I want my, and he kills him, and then he finally goes, no, he was annoying me anyways. It's like
Garrett's death is so rough.
I definitely like always get the like, having watched this movie twice now, I get the like, oh, I want to bail moment when he does the I want to watch you two do it. And I'm like, oh no, I'm out. I can't do it. This is too much.
It is icky. It's icky in a way that very few movies make me feel.
Yeah.
And that's I so appreciate that because it's really hard to make me feel gross. And I've seen this movie again, like this is the second time watching it. I'm like, oh yeah, this still works. Oh, it's still disgusting.
Yeah, like and even like still knowing how it would happen, there's still such a pleasure in like, and you don't remember all the details and like how did they pull this off? How does he get away with this? Oh yeah. I love that the movie slowly reveals how things were done. Like you don't see the catapults that threw the brick in until much later, things like that. Like how did he stage the whole thing? You get little nuggets here and there to see that it was a fully painted picture. There's something ingenious that I only noticed because I was watching it for the second time. It's in the opening shots. It's Ashley driving to the house. there's one shot after she stops because of the cat and she starts driving on. There is a black car in the foreground that turns on and starts following her, which is meant to imply to the audience, these are the people who are going to invade the house.
The music is like...
The music sets it up. It's a shot that's exactly setting that up. And it's just subconsciously supposed to make you think that. When in reality, it was just somebody leaving their house. It had nothing to do with jack crap because that's not what this movie is. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, it's so good. They're so putting in your brain like, this is that movie. And you're like, yeah, this is that movie. This is that movie. No, it ain't.
The IMDb for this director, this is the last thing he made. I'm like, that's a crime. This movie is so good, and I don't know what this guy's doing now. Maybe he's just like writing scripts or something, but he hasn't made anything since. And I'm like, oh boy, we need more of your work, man. You're good.
Yeah. A really great subversive Christmas movie.
Yeah,
I think they do a really great job of conveying the boy's character as this like total overprivileged little white boy. Super entitled to everything, definitely, and to be an incel. Like it is. I was like, more of this is what I wanted in Kylo Ren. I wanted more of this kind of privilege. I didn't want this like presentation and everything, but I wanted more of that that entitlement bestowed in him. That's who I wanted. And he branches out on his own to be the supreme leader.
One of my favorite scenes that I was really bummed because I thought it's where she dies, is where he's telling Luke is telling Ashley about how his mom used to cuddle him and he's like, oh, it felt so safe, but she stopped doing that, and she goes, I know, and he's like, what? And she just shuts up, just stays quiet, and then of course and when he stabs her, I'm like, no, Ashley.
I really like the line that she has when he walks over to her and she says, you were never going to let me go, were you?
Yeah. And he's like, guilty. Yeah. I really like that. I really like that she does that shutdown. She's like, I'm not giving you anything else you want. No more. Ashley's a really great character. Her resistance to him throughout the film is really strong. I think that's really, really well done. I really like the way they wrote her. She's just so she doesn't care what happens. She's like, I'm not willingly going to involve another person, because she will not herself contact Jeremy. She's like, I'm not doing that. I'm not bringing anybody else into this, no matter what. She's very smart. She's just not sharp enough.
The beginning of it really exemplifies how intelligent she is, because as soon as things start going crazy, she's like, does your dad have a gun? Okay, you stay down here. I'm going to go get it.
Yeah, she's a good babysitter. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Smart enough to use the duct tape to cover her, like she does save her life. Mm-hmm. And you hope that she still survives, but who knows with that little mini post thing.
Did you see the post credit?
Yeah, I saw it.
It's very early. It's very early in the credits.
Yeah.
Goes, I'm worried about Ashley. Can we go check out? I was like, no.
The one other thing, I think one of my favorite moments in the movie is there's this shot where Ashley is tied up and sitting in the chair, and Garrett and Luke are arguing with each other, and she's looking directly at Ricky, where Ricky is dead in the chair with the paint can, and she just starts crying, like being devastated, looking at him. And it's not about Luke and Garrett. You can kind of hear their voices, but it's just about her feeling that pain in that moment. I'm like, this is so good.
Yeah.
What a good movie. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this one. Merry Christmas.
Just a whole bunch of good movies watched this week. It was nice.
Yeah. Okay. So next is we talk about what the year in review, a little bit of a
media year in review thing.
Sizzles.
Well, wait. No, actually, when this goes up the next day, Wonder Woman 84. So the movie that I was really excited for going into the year never happened at this point.
Wonder Woman.
I'll be right back. I really gotta pee.
Yeah.
As we spoke about it a bit before we started recording, this was a year devoid of the content we were promised. None of the MCU shows dropped. Most of the movies bailed out of the year.
Real quick, what was the last movie we saw in theaters? Was it Bloodshot?
Do you want to count The Croods?
No, I'm talking about movie theater. Was it Bloodshot?
Then yes.
God damn it.
Mine was Sonic the Hedgehog.
You didn't see
It was
Bloodshot with us?
Bloodshot.
No, I didn't. I think I was gone. Oh no, I was in Arizona.
That's right. You were gone that week.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, a bad year for movie theaters, considering we can go to them since Bloodshot.
Yeah.
You know what? I would
But
say
you know what? Birds of Prey came out this year, and Birds of Prey
It did.
rules.
Yes,
Yeah,
I'm a
Birds of Prey
bitch
came
and a
out.
boss, and a bitch and a boss, and a shine like gloss. That's the song.
I would
Still
say
shocking.
a year, even though for television, for films, especially films, it was a crap year. This was a landmark year for video games.
Oh yeah, good year.
Because of the pandemic. I mean, yes, the pandemic had to push us, but we got Animal Crossing, Final Fantasy VII.
I want to interrupt you slightly, Ben, and just say I love it when you talk about video games because you get into like I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to do a speech voice. You go, this was a landmark year for video games. In this presentation, I will show you. And like a whiteboard shows up behind you.
All of a sudden, I'm like Charlie from God, is it Charlie from not How Many Mother God?
You're on the right track, Ben. You got it. Keep going.
Always Sunny.
Yeah.
It's the meme where he has the whiteboard, the string theory. It's like
They're on.
No, it's more like you're not crazy about. You're not being crazy about it. You're being like you're standing at a podium, getting ready to make a speech to a symposium about video games.
Hey, hi, I'm Ben Magnet. I'm Nostalgia's bitch. Welcome to my TED Talk.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I don't think like we've talked about it a lot on the podcast, not really, but this two things to this. This is the year that streaming services really earned their stripes, and the reason that I say that is because we are so far removed from network television at this point that we're not really seeing it. But network TV is in a weird place because most shows didn't get to come back.
Mm-hmm.
They're just in weird limbos and reality things that they have to rely on because that's the only thing they can safely do. Like a lot of scripted shows, like the whole CW slate hasn't come back and won't come back this year. That is wild. That is a wild place for network TV to live. And it would be so weird if we didn't have streaming services. We'd all be living in that weird moment where we're like, wow, there's nothing new to TV.
Yeah.
Well, remember, like that's why Tiger King exploded because the pandemic just started and like everyone latched onto Tiger King. Like that's what was going to get us through the pandemic.
Oh God,
8 months ago.
Holy shit, guys! I totally forgot about Tiger King.
Well, it's just Marc's point about the network TVs. Like a lot of network TVs that were able to come back are doing coronavirus episodes. They are doing episodes that heavily deal with the coronavirus.
So weird and like topical but uncomfortable. It is a strange moment in network television for sure.
It's funny because I haven't actually watched cable in honestly probably over a decade. I have been exclusively Netflix and then everything that's come after that and YouTube and piracy on the internet for a decade now. So like I'm wondering how long that era of like the like 22 episode things, how like I wonder if this pandemic will change that, or we're just gonna go back to like, yo, we got to turn out 100 episodes of the show in a year. I'm like,
I think in the long run, this pandemic will have changes that will not be immediately accepted.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be a big pushback in every industry to be like, let's go back to normal, business as usual. Let's get back into it. And then they will have to realize that no, we have to change. Whether or not that'd be too late, I don't think it's going to happen like right away.
Absolutely. Right. Yeah. You're right. People are urging just to go back to work. Which fair. Yeah, I get it. Like I'd love to work more too.
I'll go back to work.
That'd be great.
I would love money. Thank you.
It's nice. Yeah. But yeah, streaming service. You're right. Like this year, like we got, well, Disney Plus has been here, but like so much stuff came on there, man. And like we got season 2 Mandalorian. Oh my gosh.
Well, I mean, like HBO Max.
That's what I'm thinking. Yes, that's what I'm thinking of.
They launched this year.
Yeah.
Peacock too.
Yeah.
I mean, like it really Quibi was born and died.
Wow.
The pandemic killed Quibi. Like
that's so true.
We have touched on those things, but like, yeah, streaming services we watched all streaming services to some extent start to embrace creating multi-watch parties because you were at home, creating event moments that you could stream exceptionally.
Yeah.
The filmed theater performances, stage theater performances from the Met Opera went on YouTube weekly with new performances just to try and help everybody have something they could entertain themselves with, have something that they could connect to.
We got Hamilton on Disney Plus.
I would never
faster than we would have. But
I never would have seen Hamilton without that.
I honestly don't believe we ever would have gotten Hamilton if it wasn't for the pandemic.
No, it was coming out next year.
It was coming out anyway. They just moved it up because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
Okay. Which is good because, okay, let me rephrase. I don't think I ever would have seen that musical on stage at all.
Yeah.
Because those tickets were nigh impossible to get before. And of course, no, Broadway is closed because of the pandemic. And when it does reopen, those tickets are probably going to be like gold.
Gold.
Mm-hmm. So
like gold.
Yeah. So finally being able to see this musical that's been raved about for so long, for so many years, and it's like, hey, it does live up to the hype. Hamilton's really good.
One of the things that I do like about the beginning of the pandemic, especially, and I'm sure we'll talk about the 2 months that weren't pandemic, but what we were talked about, as Spark said about like they embraced the multiple watch parties things, like, you know, it also embraced the event. Like when Hamilton dropped, that's all anyone was talking about for that weekend was Hamilton, because they made it like, let's all sit down, let's all watch Hamilton, these communal moments that we had in the beginning of the pandemic, because like that's what we had, even if we weren't talking to each other. It's like we knew that everybody was watching Hamilton at the same time.
I mean, look at Mandalorian.
That's a great point. That's actually the closest probably that our country has gotten to everybody watching one thing at more or less the same time period since before DVR and all of that existed, back when like the only way to watch something was to watch it live in the moment. This is probably the first time that the country is actually really unified into like living in more or less a public conscience of we're all kind of consuming at least one thing that is the same, because we're all enraptured with it at that moment. That definitely happened in the beginning of this pandemic.
Yeah, I just brought up Mandalorian because, like, talking about an event, like the last episode of Mandalorian just happened, and I won't spoil it here if you haven't seen it, but like that is an event, and that is something that people who don't even have like Twitter talk about. Like that is something that like the impact would still be there, I think, if we weren't in a pandemic. But so many people are just stuck at home still. That like this was like their Avengers Endgame for the year. This is the biggest thing of the year for so many people, is this final episode of Mandalorian. And I don't think it would have been that way without the pandemic.
For sure.
It almost brought back the water cooler moment that, you know, you always talk about, like everybody was sitting, we'll watch the same episode of Friends, and then the next work day you go home, you talk about it at the water cooler. You know, it's
Game of Thrones. Oh yeah.
Game of Thrones was a show that like, that was 2 years ago though, but yeah, but still, let's say one of those shows that like,
it was like you go to the work, you're at the water cooler, and then he's like, "So, did anyone watch that episode of Game of Thrones last night?" Yeah,
and that's where that idea comes from. But you haven't seen that in a long time,
right? I am also really interested in what media is going to look like going forward. We are more or less living in a time is a lake situation where we have repeated a century ago. They had the Spanish flu. And then right after that, in response to the panic and the fear and the anxieties of the Spanish flu, you get the Roaring 20s.
So much art.
And here we are heading into the Roaring 20s and potentially then a depression.
History repeats.
Yeah, so it's wild to think about. But like film redefined itself. The pop culture redefined itself, and only because of the depression did it correct backwards. But throughout the 20s, film was doing it was giving women independent characters. It was pushing for feminism. It was pushing for individual consumerism, and like there were good and bad things on both ends of it. But it was pushing the needle hard in a direction of more or less progress and change. And so I'm really interested if we're going to see a similar backlash, especially when you take into account like the major other thing that happened because of the pandemic is everybody getting involved in the Black Lives Matter discussion, because we all saw it. We were all home and we all were able to see it and take part in it. And so that, like, the next major, and I hate to say, like, I have to say it like that, major killing, but like the next major thing that happens with the police like that, it will be a bigger response. Like it is not now it is massive. Now it requires attention. So we are heading into like a decade of change and progress. And how is that going to take shape? It's going to be weird.
Yeah.
It's going to be good and weird.
Not to change the subject from something that doesn't matter. to something that doesn't matter after you said that. This is the first year in years that we've had no MCU.
That's true.
Yes.
It's very weird to come to the end of that. I'm gonna like be trying to figure out for the next like 3 years. Brandon and I have joked about this, like where do things fit now in the chronology, because when they were intended to come out and when they have come out and that kind of thing. And I'm
Lord.
like, does it go here or does it go
I'll
here?
wait for Kevin Feige to give me a list or something.
Yeah.
But I wanted to bring that up because like culturally, it also had a major impact of like we've had a year with no major blockbusters really.
Yeah.
The highest grossing superhero film was Birds of Prey, which is rad, but
yeah,
the movie actually didn't do that well.
Yeah.
So we've had no big budget blockbusters going forward. I do wonder if, because streaming, Denis Villeneuve is absolutely right that streaming cannot support the type of blockbusters we are used to seeing on the big screen. It just can't.
100%.
I do wonder if as things go now, make a larger push towards streaming, which we've seen with HBO Max. Will we start seeing those budgets on those films start to go down?
I hope so. I think yes. I think not every big movie needs to cost $200 million, because half the time I feel like they don't even know how to use that money correctly. People like Denis Villeneuve and Christopher Nolan, there are very few filmmakers that I feel okay with giving you $500 million to make a movie, because that's just too much money for anyone to have for any movie. But I see something like a Christopher Nolan movie or something like a Dune, and I'm like, okay, I know you're responsible and you need to use that nicely. I think of like, man, what are some really like Adam Sandler makes $100 million comedies, and where does that money go? It goes to him and his friends. And I just think Hollywood budgets need to go down entirely across the board for every reason, because it's ridiculous that Justice League costs $300 million. That's ridiculous. That's too much money. You can make 1 billion movies out of that. I think Hollywood budgets should just go down regardless of a pandemic.
I don't know if I'd agree with like the budgets need to go down. I would say that more what's needed is reallocation of the wealth in those budgets.
Yeah.
Because like we know that there are still people like all the below the line workers, all the like, you know, artists and crew that work below the line are not being paid fair enough wages in comparison to the product that they put out when it hits big.
Yeah.
And that kind of equal compensation doesn't exist. So I wouldn't say necessarily that like there needs to be less money in the, because when you make that cut, like the stars aren't going to be getting those cuts. Lower people are going to be getting those cuts.
Then yes, stop giving Tom Cruise $30 million to be in your movie.
Right. And so like, I think that more so than like, we need to reassess how budgets work for these kind of movies. We maybe need to reconsider the wealth gap that happens in the industry because of
they're hand in hand
because of over the line and below the line people.
Yeah.
It'd just be interesting to see what the blockbuster market looks like in like 5 or 6 years.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hopefully we'll be done with the pandemic by then. And I'm sure we're still going to get like another Avengers movie and all that stuff.
Well, like pandemic or not, I'd like to see what a blockbuster looks like in 5 or 6 years. Like,
I'm sure it's going to look like similar to how we would have thought blockbusters looked 5 years ago, just better technology, different actors. Like, I don't know how much it's really going to change.
No, I mean, like, as with a $250 million budget, Endgame wouldn't look like it does.
Well, here's the thing: is that I don't think things like Endgame, like an Avengers film, their budgets aren't going to go. They're franchises that they know rake in a certain amount of money. Their budgets won't go down. The budgets that need to go down are like the projects like Monster Hunter, for example. Frankly, like, you know, probably invested with too much money. That's maybe not the best example, but it's just like
that. I don't think that's a good example, because that's literally a movie about giant CGI monsters.
But speaking to that point, like just like the things that are like these, you know, the movies I'm talking about, not part of these franchises.
The Tom Cruise Mummy movie did not need to cost $200 million.
There you go, perfect. Like, yeah, the Tom Cruise Mummy movie didn't need to cost as much as it did. That was ridiculous.
The Invisible Man cost literally like a fraction of what the Mummy cost.
Yeah, I was only saying that I just think it's going to be interesting to see how blockbusters evolve in a couple of years because of the pandemic and because of decreasing budgets and because of the push to streaming. I think it'd be interesting to see what those things are going to look like.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I hear you and I agree with you. I'm only saying that I really don't think the major players, the like big players that have cemented themselves as things that earn money, they're not going to change. The things that will change are the things that are more risky as blockbusters. Those budgets are the ones that are going to go down. And maybe they should. And this could be a thing where this is very similar to the video game industry and what we've been talking about, that AAA titles need to not have this industry push where they're being shoved out, but be considered more thoughtfully because they're putting so much money and time and work into it. And then it allows indie games to get more attention, which would now fall to the indie film market. Lower budget films will get more attention if they are allowed to rise from the cream of the crop for being talented, well done films rather than a studio just trying to shit something out.
Yeah.
I would like to see a return of the mid-budget film. I know we only recently killed that, but I would like to see it come back.
Absolutely. It's the same thing with video games too. Like mid-budget games are gone. Like the games that are like, oh, this game's like a B. Like they just don't make those anymore. Either it's an indie game or it's Gears of War 5. And that sucks. It's a sucker.
Well, only recently, like Fox 2000 was one of the last mid-budget level studios that was out there, and then Disney dissolved that immediately when they bought Fox. So
yeah, it's going to be wild. This was a weird year. And we're going to see some weird shit going forward.
We didn't talk about video games very much because we got cut off real quick. So we got to talk about games, Ben.
Sounds good.
definitely.
Yeah.
Talk about games. Let's talk about games.
Oh, I thought I didn't know we were gonna.
Ryan, you should go. Lead him in.
We started to talk about it, and then Sparks came back from the bathroom, and we just cut the conversation off before we even started.
Yeah.
So we got to talk about video games.
Sorry.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It wasn't your fault. No. I just want to talk about Hades because Hades is the game I haven't finished, but it's many people's game of the years. It's the smallest game that has the biggest reputation right now. And as I talked about the last time I talked about Hades, I value and I love when small things can get big because they deserve it. And Last of Us 2, biggest game of the year. That game had 1,000 people work on it. Hades has 4 people working on it. So I'm just a little more attracted to that game. I love that game is so popular, and it's made that it sold millions of copies on Switch. That's so insane to me that this roguelike Greek mythology like run-based action game. It is such a niche type of thing. Is speaking to so many people. It speaks to me as someone who doesn't like those types of games. I don't like games like roguelikes where it resets every time and it's something different every time because there's no narrative thing to that. But Hades gave it a narrative reason why you keep dying. So every time you die, something new is added to the game, and that makes it endlessly fascinating to play. And I just think that's a game that everyone needs to watch out for. Hades is great.
Yeah, I want to talk a little bit more about Animal Crossing: New Horizon. I haven't really been touching Animal Crossing since I've been back at work. That month off when I was sick with COVID was a very stressful month.
That was a long time ago.
It was all of July. It was stressful. It was anxiety filled. It sucked. You would think that, but Ben, you're off of work. Why did it suck? You're free. It's like, yeah, but I didn't know if I was okay. I didn't know if I was going to be okay. I didn't know what my job wanted me to do. It was just. And even, of course, we're in the middle. That was one of the heights of the pandemic. So, of course, I couldn't go outside. The only time I did go outside was to get groceries and food, and that's it. So having some form of normalcy in the form of a video game, sharing a console with Fanny, seeing her create her island, then me jumping on, then me actually getting really into it, talking, even though they're NPCs, just chatting with these villagers and just doing stuff on just like walking around, swimming, fishing, catching bugs. Joking at fans like, hey, guess what? I was able to put something in the museum that you didn't get. I got that. It was the game Animal Crossing. Like when Final Fantasy VII came out, I mean, yeah, it was hype, but then the hype died. Animal Crossing, the hype started and it stayed. People would because Animal Crossing is a never-ending game. It is just fun. It's wholesome. Ryan, you and I did a Halloween special on it a few weeks ago, or a month ago now.
Almost 2 months ago.
2 months ago, yeah.
Jeez.
And the game, because the game works in real time, it's like you enjoy seeing your island change as the year progresses, going from summer to fall to now winter. Rose Gold Island is covered in snow, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, my island, it's still spooky themed. So it's all snowy, spooky stuff. So it's like a nightmare before Christmas.
Nice. But Animal Crossing, I feel it didn't just help me out, but it helped. I'm going to bet millions of people who just wanted some form of normalcy, some form of routine that they used to have before the pandemic. And now that the pandemic hit and they're stuck inside or they lost their jobs, they now had something they could look forward to every day. It's like, oh, what's hot at Nook's Cranny right now? How much are turnips? How rich can I get? And yeah, it sounds silly of the euphoria of paying off your home loans to Tom Nook in a virtual video game, but it's still so satisfying. It's like, yes, I paid them off. Now I can save up and then go back to him. It's like, hey, build me a basement, you bitch. And he's like, cool, you owe me $1.5 million bells, as he cocks the gun.
Yeah, if we're talking about video games, then I got pretty into video games this pandemic because of the pandemic. I fell off, and I kind of played a bit when God of War and Spider-Man came out, but like this was every couple of weeks I was telling you guys, I just finished this game. I just finished this game. I turned to my Xbox One on for the first time since I played and beat Halo 5.
That's like 4 years ago.
It's been a while that my Xbox has just been sitting there, and I had Tomb Raider on the Xbox. I was like, yeah, all right. I just put it in. Surprised it worked. Played Tomb Raider. It's a great game.
Yep, it is a good game. Did you know you can get Xbox Live Ultimate Game Pass for $1 a month, baby? Look at that. Play every game you want with us. I'm just saying.
Oh, I also started Immortals Phoenix Rising. Ryan.
Good.
So.
Good.
Excited.
Yeah, Animal Crossing. Yeah, that came out at the perfect time. That game is beautiful because yes, it is a game where you can play it daily, but also they have seasonal stuff, so it makes you invested to want to play more to unlock all the cool stuff for every season. That game's just hella charming. You can personalize as much as you want. You can make your own island, your own house, how you want to make it, and it's just for creative people, you couldn't ask for anything better.
It's also
Go ahead.
It's soothing. Yes. Whereas you open it up and you hear the ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. It's just nice and relaxing. I did get Doom Eternal earlier this year, and when of course it's Doom, so you're running, it's a high adrenaline game, it's a high pace, you gotta like be on your toes. Whereas Animal Crossing, just chill out, man. Just relax.
I think there was a lot of like Fall Guys and Among Us became very popular because of the pandemic. Like those types of like. Well, Fall Guys isn't really calming anymore, but like those kinds of like calming games, you just want to like hang out with your friends and play a game.
Communal game.
People were stuck indoors and they couldn't go outside. So what did they go to? They looked at Twitch. They looked at new content. They watched all the stuff. Tiger King was over. What do we watch now? Oh, there's this thing where we can watch other people play games. F it. Hey, what's this Among Us game? And then I started playing Among Us this year because of all the memes. I got Fall Guys because you guys, hey, it's free on PlayStation. Let's all play together. We all play together.
Play Dead by Daylight. Played by Daylight.
We're playing that, and Among Us came out 2 years ago. It was not nominated to Game Awards and won Best Multiplayer Game. A 2-year-old game did that.
No, I'm working it.
I think I was one of the points I was going to was for Animal Crossing is that whereas like Doom, Final Fantasy VII, Hades, these are high octane action games where you really have to focus and you have to plan. Whereas Animal Crossing is literally just a game you can just sit back and relax to. And
it's the opposite of Doom.
Yeah, it is. It's the opposite of Doom, and for me, it's the opposite of Bloodborne. I finished Dark Souls 3 this year, and I'm right in the middle of Bloodborne. And I was only able to play those games quite a bit because I was stuck indoors, and my brother is also stuck indoors across the country. So it's like, what do we do? Let's play some games. Let's kill some monsters. Let's go get some souls and kill some Cthulhu beasts. Let's do it.
We played Fortnite a whole lot.
Yeah,
mm-hmm. Still are.
Speaking of content, a lot of we had to change.
We did.
We had to fundamentally change our show.
We had to, because of the pandy.
That sucks. I want to quickly, Ryan. You mentioned things that like came out around like the right time. One of the things that I think came out of the right time are the film Palm Springs.
Oh, that was a good one. Yeah.
Which was just really relatable, especially in the pandemic. Like Groundhog's Day became very popular for a second time because Groundhog's Day passed for a similar reason. That kind of like time loop film. You can feel like you're doing the same day over and over again. Mm-hmm. And then the technology stagecraft could not have come at a better time because that allows people to quarantine while filming.
Oh yes.
It's this technology that the Mandalorian uses, the big LED screens. Like Star Trek is incorporating it. 2000 AD is incorporating it. They're using their Judge Dredd show, Mega City 1.
Oh shit.
That's still coming. They're using stagecraft. Like plenty of people are using stagecraft to be able to film their shows now, and it's such a advanced. It's like the next leap of technology from green screen to now. This came out at the right time, where it's just like, well, we can't go outside. We can't shoot on location. We can shoot in here though. We can make it look like we're on location, no problem.
And it's convincing every single time. It's amazing.
I just wanted to highlight those kind of things because, like, the right time, the right place, right time thing happened a bunch during this pandemic.
Yeah,
Absolutely, yeah.
Hell yeah.
I wrote down some things. These are some things that I wrote down one of each of the media properties that I liked. So I wrote down Hades for a game. For the movie, I picked Bill and Ted Face the Music. Not because that's my favorite movie of the year, but maybe because it's the most surprising and how much I just effing love that movie. And I think about that movie more than I probably should. And I think I want to rewatch it soon.
I agree.
Yeah, I just thought it was utterly charming. And like for a movie that had no right to be as fun or as good as it is, I think it's just like, that's like a perfect trilogy right there.
I think Bill and Ted Face the Music was a very big bright spot in this year.
Yeah, absolutely. For comics, I wrote X of Swords. That's a 22-issue X-Men comic book, and juicy, spicy, delicious, yummy, yummy. Give me all of it.
We talked about the whole thing in a couple episodes back.
Absolutely. And then I wrote music. I don't often talk about music, but I listen to a lot of music, guys. Dua Lipa released an album called Future Nostalgia. She's probably going to win the Grammy for it. I hope she wins. She's amazing. It's a dope-ass pop album, and I don't really like pop music very much unless it's super good. And I think every track on this album, Future Nostalgia, is a hot bop. It's a bop, bop, bop. So there you go, Dua Lipa. That's music.
It's a bop it.
Awesome.
Bop it. Push it. Twist it.
Okay. That's it, I guess. We're good.
So we have a wish. We have a wish.
It's time for Christmas wishes.
Wish time.
We start by revisiting the wishes of the last year.
Yes.
Shall I begin with Ryan?
Yes.
Now, Ryan last year changed his wish.
Did I?
Yes. So Ryan used to wish for a Mass Effect trilogy remaster and for an announcement of Fantastic Four film.
Yeah.
Which both happened this year.
Yeah.
But Ryan didn't wish for that last year.
No.
Ryan wished for them to announce Rian Johnson's next Star Wars film.
Oh, no.
And for a Mass Effect 1 remaster, so we can kind of give you the trilogy for that one.
Yeah, I'll allow yeah. We got everything but Rian Johnson's Star Wars movie.
Man,
so
that's
a big negative on my part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of these get a little, I'm going to be real with you guys, a couple of these, because they weren't wishes about media, but more about personal things. Like it's going to hit you in the spots of like, oh, well, that didn't happen. Ben wished for 3 episodes of Basement Arcade Pause Menu to be recorded.
Nope.
He also wished to be published in a magazine this year.
That didn't happen.
Well, you wrote articles for an online magazine.
But he said he wanted them to be published in the magazine.
I wanted to be in the actual magazine. I want to try, but nothing happened. Became a
and Ben also wished to finish his novel.
Yeah, I hate myself.
Ben, I recommend Christmas wishes. Don't put yourself down on personal goals.
At least on the novel front, I thought of something really cool for it, and I wrote it down. It's just I need to see.
There you go. You got it.
I wished for an announcement about what the next Dragon Ball anime series would be. Nope, I did not get it. So there you go. And Brandon wished that he would have more time to work on projects for the show and his book.
Oh, Brandon.
I'm sorry.
And Brandon got the quarantine.
It's my fault.
No joke. I was playing it back, checking the wishes, and I'm like, well, shit.
No, I actually, Sparks, I was thinking about it. I was like, wow, I had a whole month. What the hell? If you want to justify it, I was also freaking the F out, but at the same time, I was like, man.
No,
you went back to work almost immediately.
Ben, there also, regardless, like whether you were in your position or you were in Brandon's position, working on passion projects on your own time and working on passion projects because you have obligatory time at home are 2 totally different things, and they create totally different emotional stances. And you should not expect yourself, like, this is something that people have talked a lot about in the relation to the pandemic. Like, I had all this time, why didn't I learn a new language or something like that? because our brains and our spirits are already being taxed by so much else in our external world. Yes, we are at our homes more, but that doesn't mean that necessarily engaging with that kind of productivity is beneficial or healthy for us.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like, I was thinking about that, like, no, I'm stuck with the realization that I caused the pandemic, but but the idea that we could have gotten season 2 of Miscellaneous out. I could have started my what the hell is it called? Series my bitching
About nothing.
Bitching about nothing.
Brandon,
Series.
Brandon, like, Miscellaneous isn't held up because of you. Miscellaneous is held up because of me. And like, yes, we had this year, but like, I know why I didn't work on Miscellaneous. I didn't work on Miscellaneous because I was in school. And then when we were in the summer, I was so just drained from everything else that was happening in the summer that I didn't want to engage in trying to actually write something. And then I went back into school and I did 6 courses, and there was just no way I wanted to sit down and write more things. There was no path for me to find my way back, even though I wanted to Miscellaneous. So that's not like an on you thing. And that is me acknowledging that, like, my life in the pandemic mixed with school made it so that I could not engage with that kind of side of myself. Like, as much content as we were able to put out this year is pretty much the limit of what I was capable of putting out.
Yeah, I kind of looked at it like, if I got an article up on our website, that was enough for me after a while, that I just kind of felt like I know why I have such little motivation. But if I could just get one up there, it's kind of the same way that I started watching new movies, like any way to trick my brain into shooting serotonin into my head. Like, that was, you just kind of keep grasping for a lot of that.
For sure.
I mean, there were times during the pandemic where, or even when I was home for that 1 month all by myself, where Fanny and I were just chilling at home, where I thought there were times, like, because I told you that month was some of the worst nights of sleep I ever got in my life. I was just tossing and turning. I was just anxious. And it's like, I could have wrote something, but because there have been times where I've gone home and was like, no, I want to do this. And I came and I turned out some really good stuff, even stuff for Old School Gamer Magazine. There's some nights where I came home, I wrote a whole article. I was like, man, that was really good. I put it up there right then. I was like, oh man, that was nice. But there are others where I'm just staring at it. It's like, you have to do this, you have to do this. But then it's like the screen is still blank.
Yeah.
Or even the whatever words I do write down.
It goes back to what I talked to. Like, we put out a new show this week. Not this week, this year. Like, we put out FakeNerd Book Club as a independent show. And it's one of the things, and I'm really proud of us that we did that. I'm really happy that we have that out there. And it's a really cool show that you all should check out on this channel.
World Charm Gang next year.
So, what was my point? I didn't want anything here to feel like a chore because of how drained we are already from the pandemic. Sparks' work schedule, school schedule, Ben's work schedule, and especially in December, if it works 6 days, like, I didn't want anything that we do here to feel like we had to do it. I wanted it to remain to feel like we want to do it.
Right. And I mean, like, it's much the same about, writing your book, Ben, or like my finals week was really bad because I procrastinated on papers, but it's because honestly, when I tried to sit down and write some of them before that, I just was sitting there staring at the screen and not doing anything. And I'm like, it's not helpful to me. I don't like sitting there just trying to force something out of myself.
Yeah.
And like, I got to find my own way to it. And we all have to do that. And there is no good sense in trying to make yourself create something.
Because it's probably going to be bad.
Right.
Yeah. There's a difference between the article I wrote about Soul and my Gamera article, which one I felt like I should write and one that I wanted to write.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, on that note, let's hear some new Christmas wishes. I will go ahead and go first. My new Christmas wish is 2. I have 2. Considering that I'm going to say Charlie Cox is coming back in Spider-Man 3, I want a Vincent D'Onofrio confirmed return in the MCU somewhere.
Give it a week.
Don't even care where.
Give it a week.
I just want that. Not rumor, confirmed.
I know.
in this next year, I want to confirm we're getting that Kingpin back, baby.
You want Kevin Feige. You want Kevin Feige to call you on the phone. This is happening.
Yes. And the other one I want them to say, in addition with the Fantastic Four, they're also going to make Noah Hawley's Doctor Doom. Them's my wishes.
It's a good wish. I'll go next.
Right.
I'm next. Where did I write it down? I wrote down something about the X-Men. Not movie related though, because now that I know Fantastic Four's coming, I'm not even going to pretend X-Men are coming soon. I wrote that I want an X-Men game to be announced before next Christmas, because I firmly believe with how bad Avengers was, they were gonna, and now that they have X-Men, they've got to be working on something with the X-Men. Because that is just a team that is ripe for video games. Marvel Ultimate Alliance had a really sick X-Men expansion pack that had a bunch of stuff and had like the Danger Room and stuff. So like, it's not like they're against doing that because I've done it before. So I'm requesting an X-Men video game announced this next year.
Would a new Fortnite season that is entirely X-Men based count?
No.
Okay.
Because they've already had like X-Force and Wolverine and Storm. So like I already have X-Men.
Yeah, but I'm saying like not a Marvel event. Like it is like they literally bring bring Krakoa. Krakoa becomes the Fortnite island. Like what
if Krakoa comes to Fortnite, I will allow that.
Okay.
That will be the big boy, because that is too spicy. But yeah, I think there will be some type of X-Men game announced within a year.
Ben, do you want to go next?
Sure. One of my wishes is I want this pandemic to be over so that let me finish.
This show started the pandemic. This show can end it.
Yeah. Yeah. Is that I want the pandemic to be over and it's safe enough and we all feel comfortable enough, because I want all of us to go back to Disneyland to build our lightsabers.
Oh, yes.
I would love for that to happen.
Yeah.
Star Wars, I even though we got Rise of Skywalker last year, but for some reason, I don't know why, but recently I've been on a big Star Wars kick, probably because
what came out last year?
Never mind. Definitely came out last year. Mandalorian came out last year. That's what happened.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, I got it. I've been on a Star Wars kick, and all the news makes me excited for Star Wars, and it just makes me miss Disneyland. It makes me miss just going there with my friends. Even when I was there the other day to get Fanny's Christmas presents, I was able to walk into DCA, and it just felt weird. It just felt weird seeing the plaza to Disneyland still roped off and empty, but being a DCA in the essentially just Hollywoodland and Buena Vista Street, just like looking at it as like, man, this feels weird not going to Incredicoaster, not going to Soarin' California.
The
stores open? The stores are open.
You can still like go into Disneyland and stuff?
No,
you can go to California Adventure.
California Adventure.
Okay, gotcha.
You can't go to Disneyland, just California Adventure.
Stores.
Gotcha, okay.
Yeah. And it made me really miss just going there with my friends, getting a churro, just waiting in line, talking, and just being in Disneyland with my friends. So that's one of my wishes, is for the pandemic to be over and safe enough so we can all go and we can enjoy Disneyland again safely, not rushed. I want this to be done safely, but that is sometime next year. It could be summer, it could be Christmas Eve, for all I care.
I'm gonna tell you, Ben, it's gonna be a while before I even want to think about going to Disneyland.
Yeah, but
being honest,
that's fine. That's totally fine. But it's something I would like to do. If it's
absolutely,
I would love to have the money to buy a personalized lightsaber.
That's also that also, because they're like $200.
That.
Yeah, I mean, kind of attached to that, like, I just, best wishes for everyone who's still suffering worse than us, not as much as us, through this pandemic. We're all in it. And I hope that we all come out of it strong and all right next year.
Yeah.
Second wish is to maybe not finish it, but at least get a good jump on the book. Maybe not finish the first draft, but to at least get some stuff to put the ideas that are up in here. I'm putting down to my keyboard.
That's good. Yeah, don't make it. Don't write the whole book. Like, work on the book. That's good.
The book is, a lot of it is done, but it's just like, just finish it, or maybe not just finish it, just work on it, get it some headway. Because even though I haven't sat down to write it for 2.5 years, I still have been thinking about it. It's still up here, so
for sure.
Right.
So it's still a work in progress, but it's hopefully it will happen someday, because I keep dreaming and fantasizing about the day it gets published. and the day I don't work.
Okay. So I wrote down a few options. I'm not going to say them all because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I think I want one of my wishes to be a Spider-Man 3 announced. Or a Spider-Man 2 if you want to count Miles Morales.
Oh, okay. You're talking about the video
game.
game.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've played Miles Morales. I can almost guarantee that the next game is going to be called Spider-Man.
Whatever the third game is called, I want it. I want it announced this year.
Yeah, that game, that Miles game is small enough where they are definitely working on that new one now. And like if it looks like it's going to be like a Gotham Knight situation where there's both characters are in that game, because it's going to be a true next gen game, not a halfway like this one was. Yo baby, Spider-Man 3, whatever it's called. Oh, it's going to be juicy.
Yeah,
juicy.
Whatever that is, I want it announced. I was going to say God of War, but then I remembered it was announced last week.
It's coming out next year.
Yeah.
No,
sure it is.
Sure it is.
It's coming out next year, and it's going to be not as big, and it's going to be on PS4, guys. I'm just saying, be careful for another one of those Miles Morales games.
I still push back on that, but I also don't think it's actually coming out next year. So,
yeah.
All right. Yeah. Okay. I'll say this one. I want a new Dragon Ball series announced. I'm gonna steal sparks just from last year.
Ooh, we got a whole year now.
I want a new Dragon Ball series. I didn't know I wanted it last year until there wasn't one because I was certain we were going to get a follow up to Super. We didn't. So I'm sitting here going like, okay, next year, man.
I truly
give me my fix.
I truly think at this point that the plan is to wait until Toriyama's next movie is about to come out.
Yeah, because that's definitely coming first.
And the anime series will bridge the gap.
Yeah. I have one more that is thought of. Since they announced the Fantastic Four, I want them to announce the casting to be a diverse cast. I don't want them to be white. I think I've seen a lot of Sterling K. Brown and a lot of Raul Cooley going around to play Reed Richards, and I'm like, oh my god, they would rock both those roles. Oh my god.
Sterling
but I know
K. Brown would be incredible
as Reed, dude, especially like an egotistical Reed. That would be like insanely good. But I don't trust Disney because they're cowards. So
well, he's also already in Black Panther.
Oh shit! Hey, Minerva, what's her name? The lady from Captain Marvel is in Eternals.
Other people in the MCU have appeared as other people in other places.
I know, just giving the MCU a hard time. That multi-billion-dollar franchise.
Yes.
All right, and I guess the last one, I'm gonna make it for myself. I want to go to a movie theater that's not a drive-in.
Oh, okay.
Fair enough.
Yeah. That sounds reasonable.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I do too.
I don't want Bloodshot to be my last movie in the theater.
Right. There are people like in the Midwest, like their theaters are open. And I'm like, oh, I don't like it. And I'm sure like they're doing every other seating with masks. I'm like, still don't like it. You're in an insulated place. I hate it.
Well, you got a bunch of people. Probably got a bunch of people who are like, oh, you don't need masks. And some theaters are like, oh, I'm going to look the other way.
Yeah. That's why we're here where we are.
Yeah.
But one big up for me personally that happened this year was, of course, this team finally won the damn World Series.
It's true.
Took how long? 80 years?
32.
32, okay. That's not as bad.
I'm not going to make it my wish, but I want to tell you, I didn't make it my wish, but I want to tell you what I wrote down. I said, to not stop buying comics because I'm really scared that I'm going to have to.
Yeah, I had to not buy comics this week, and I'm like, that sucks. That's a sucker. I feel you.
Yeah. Especially because DC, we'll talk about it on the episode. We will talk about it on the episode last week. Figured that one out, audience.
It's 10x inversion.
But a lot of the DC comics are going to $4.99.
What?
Hey, remember holding the line at $2.99?
They're upping the page count, and a lot of titles are getting backup issues. So a lot of them are going to $4.99.
Yeah, that sucks.
So yeah. Money. Okay, let's end it on a happy note, though.
I am happy. Comics still getting.
This is a great special. What did you say, Sparks?
I said "Estoy feliz Navidad."
Yes.
He said,
I really am happy we get to do this, even if we don't get to do it in person.
Absolutely.
I miss you guys.
I miss you. I miss all of you.
This is what we got. This is what we got.
Seriously, where the hell did you find this?
eBay.
Baby. Why are you asking?
It's the internet, Ben. You can get anything.
Yeah. Let's see.
I just want to say a heartfelt thank you to our audience. If you stuck around this long, which I hope you did, thank you guys. Thank you everyone who watched our live streams. Those were new to us, and it looks like we'll have to we'll have to keep continuing them in the new year when we come back, but hopefully not for much longer.
It seems like potentially just maybe a couple more months.
Yeah. Hopefully we can get back to recording in person again. But thank you to our audience who watched our live shows. Mag, you're great watching the whole thing every week.
MVP.
Thank you to our new subscribers on YouTube. We got to over 100 subscribers this year on YouTube. That was excellent. That was incredibly exciting. Thank you to anyone who listens to the show, who continues to listen to the show even during this pandemic. I know it's difficult to listen to podcasts when you're not commuting a lot of the time because that's a big time to listen to podcasts. But if you still listened, if you're stuck with us, we really appreciate it. We love all of you. Thank you so much for continuing to support us in another year.
I love you guys. I also appreciate them. Fans and friends, all the same.
Mm-hmm. And thank you guys for putting up with all of, thank you guys for putting up with all of my shit this pandemic as I freaked out every week.
Easy money.
So yeah, that's another year down, guys.
We're in the future. It's 2021.
Yep. This is the last. This is probably the last thing that's going to come out, or maybe not. Who knows? We'll see in the new year for sure.
Yeah.
We'll be back next year in 2021 with a best of the year. We do those every year.
Yeah, we do.
So, and then we'll probably catch up on some review specials if we have the time, because Wonder Woman and Soul will have come out tomorrow. If you're watching this on Christmas Eve,
Promising Young Woman.
Promising Young Woman. There's Lupin.
Oh, Lupin!
Yeah. So a lot of stuff coming out that we will catch up on hopefully in January, and we will have the time to. So yeah, that's it for the year, guys. We did it again.
Another year in the drain.
All right. Thank you to everyone who watched this thing. Make sure to like this video. Make sure to subscribe to this channel. Tell your friends. We love it. Thank you to everyone who watched. Thank you to everyone who listened. I hope you guys all had a happy Christmas, or will have a happy Christmas. Hope you got everything you wanted. Hope your family is safe. Hope you're safe. All that jazz. And if you're not in America, good job with defeating this virus that we haven't.
Especially those in New Zealand.
Right. What do I say next? Thank you to Jeremy Vellucci for our theme music and your continued collaboration over the years. You can find him at Jeremy Vellucci Keyboards. You can find his podcast, Suburban Proctologist, at facebook.com/Suburban Proctologist Official, or Instagram at Subproc Podcast. You can find it on iTunes as well. Thanks, Mike Matola. Mike Matola rocks. We love you. We're sorry we couldn't get you into December, but we may have a surprise for you coming soon.
Fit you in January.
You're not watching this, I'm sure, but if you happen to, you got a surprise. But yeah, we love
by now.
What would you say?
If we haven't already told him by now.
But yeah, he's great. He did all of our logos for Miscellaneous, FakeNerd Book Club, and FakeNerd Podcast. It was awesome that he was able to do it during the pandemic for FakeNerd Book Club. He's a great guy. At Mike Patola. Sucks that we couldn't get another Mike's Possible Movie Trivia Challenge at LA Comic Con, which happened last year.
Yeah.
But
that was fun.
That was fun. Thanks just to everyone who collaborated with us during the pandemic, before the pandemic. I know there wasn't a whole lot because we couldn't get a bunch of people, but we had Michael Moreci come in, talk about his book, Wasted Space.
Ryan jumped into the Downright Annoyed gang.
Oh, yeah. There's a whole new bunch of dudes I talk about movies with now, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Thanks to the Downright Annoyed group. You guys rule. All of those podcasts, just a little podcast, Downright Nerdy, even though you're not on the air right now. Just Annoyed. Paul's
Pinky's out. Paul's he's with CBSI Interactive. Pinky's out. Just a little podcast. All wonderful people.
Yes. Check out all those shows. Check out the Downright Annoyed. I think you have just done a Christmas Carol for Downright Annoyed.
We are doing it tomorrow, actually, because we would be.
No. This is coming out Christmas Eve.
Ooh, I've already recorded it. From Ken from Pinky's Out, he made coasters of all of our logos. It's just super nice. Great guy.
Yeah. That's really cool. Of course, thank you to our collaborators that we didn't get to see this year, like Ken Knapsack, Jen Ludstrom, the Key Thief herself.
Yeah.
So
Did
many.
we have the Googs on this year? Did we mention the Googs?
We did have the Googs.
We did have Guggenheim on the show.
Yes.
To talk about the crisis.
Crisis on Infinite Earth started and ended this year. Jesus.
Wow.
We had Marc Guggenheim on the show talking who talked to us about it. That was cool.
Oh,
Love
yeah,
Marc Guggenheim.
The only convention I went to was Anime Impulse, and I got to meet Ben Lepley, the voice actor of Dedue.
Yes.
And I got to interview him.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so we still a lot of cool people on here, a lot of fun stuff that we did. So thank you to everyone for that. I hope I mentioned everyone. If not, thank you to everyone who I didn't mention. You are no less special to us. All right, subscribe to us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, TuneIn, Spotify, iHeartRadio. That's not where I go first. I say make sure to like this video and subscribe to this channel. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, all at Fake Nerd Podcast, FakeNerdGuys@gmail.com. I'm at BT McClure on Instagram and Twitter, and I will continue to be for the rest of the year. Ben?
I'm on the internet because normally you say my name. I thought you were going to keep going.
I forgot.
You can find me apparently playing with a whole bunch of Tiger electronic video games that these guys got me for Christmas at BenMagnet27. Also, if you like old school video games, I write for oldschoolgamermagazine.com. That's a new article should be coming out tomorrow because I have something planned.
No.
It's Christmas.
No. It is. I could hold it off, and something could pop up on. I could write it. I wrote it earlier, and it's popping up on Christmas.
Okay.
This is too for me. I can't handle it.
Oh, ha 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 ha.
Lieutenant much inversion.
Sparks?
You can find me celebrating the homies at Sparks Witty on Instagram and Twitter, SPARKZ Witty.
Ryan?
You can find me at DJ Tony Snark everywhere. Check me out playing Skyrim at twitch.com. DJ Tony Snark 616.
All right. If you listen to the audio, make sure to tell your friends to like this video on iTunes, on Google Play, on Spotify, on iHeartRadio, on Amazon Music and Podcasts. Rate and review. We love a review. Oh, you're bringing back the Zune joke?
Zune Marketplace. I'm bringing it back.
Okay. We can make sure to rate. Make sure to rate and review. Sorry. Make sure to rate and review. That helps a lot with the show. We have a Patreon. I forgot to mention all of our Patreon and TeePublics.
You're here now.
This is not easy when I don't have it in front of me.
You're doing really good. I'll tell you.
We have a Patreon. You can subscribe to our Patreon. $5 here, or you can find us on TeePublic. We have a bunch of shirts on TeePublic. We didn't get a Christmas shirt out. Some stuff happened over on our artist end. Maybe next year. Stay tuned for that. We're really excited about what it could potentially look like. But we have some other cool shirts like Bread and Butter, like FakeNerd Book Club, like all the Mike Patola stuff. And then we have our website at www.fakenerdpodcast.com. You can find all the links there. We have Crafted by Z masks. The pandemic may be coming to an end in a couple of months, but that's still a couple of months that you need to wear your mask. So wear a Fake Nerd Podcast mask. You can find it at Crafted by Z on Instagram or on Etsy. Okay, that's it. Until next year, gentlemen. Until next year, listeners. Until next year, watchers.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Lucy Goosey, baby.
I hope you're ready to get up from that chair and go find your presents.
Fuck you. Shit. Right.
I know where they are.
All right. You ready, boys?
Ready.
Wait, real quick. Hold on. You have your obvious presents with you, right?
I don't have anything. No, okay. I don't have anything with me.
Real quick. Go get your 3 presents that are under the tree.
Okay. There's 3 of them under the tree? All right, I'll be right back.
Yeah, 1 from each of us under the tree.
All right.
Those ones were supposed to be obvious.
It's good content.
live.